Specialties that Salina Ortho provides, see one of our trusted physicians or visit salinaortho.com. Salina Ortho, your voice, your choice, past, present, and future.
It's natural to think that insurance is complicated, but at Farmers Agency, we know a thing or two about helping to make it easier by explaining your available coverage options. And with over 25 years of experience in insurance, we can help you through the process step by step. Call Kniper Agency at 825-8419 to learn more today.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Frisbee Construction is a service organization for the commercial grain industry dedicated to giving you the best in planning, the best in quality, and the best of workmanship, and overall the best value for your dollar since 1949. Frisbee Construction specializes in new construction as well as remodel and repair of grain handling facilities throughout the Midwest. Frisbee Construction Company in Gypsum has emergency crews available as needed. For more information, go to frisbeeinc.com.
The hours of drills, the pre-dawn workouts, the hundreds of laps. It takes hard work, passion, and drive to do what you love. When you're sidelined by injury, Salina Regional Sports Medicine is just as committed and works just as hard to get you back in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, 785-452-7366. SalinaRegionalSportsMedicine.com.
The following is a special presentation of Eagle Radio and KINA Sports. Trojan football is on the air. Go!
36-28. Southeast of Saline has an 8-point advantage. You have the best player in the state in Class 2A taking the snap. The two-time defending champions have the last say about it. Here's the pass, and it's going to be a tackle by Grady Gephardt in the middle of the field, and Southeast of Saline has won. The Trojans have won this game. They scored 2 touchdowns in less than 2 minutes to go. 1:50 remaining on the clock. Southeast of Saline might have been written off. They were down by 8 points, 28-20, but Southeast of Saline scores the last 16 points in this game, and the Trojans win their second state title in school history, and they win it 36-28.
This is Countdown to Kickoff for Southeast of Saline Trojan football on KINA Sports. Coming up, you'll get a preview of area games, analysis on tonight's matchups, and hear from the coach. Now, let's head to the stadium. Countdown to Kickoff starts now. On KINA and worldwide on Salina Post.
Last week, the Southeast of Saline Trojans were able to protect their home field on senior night and beat Ellsworth with a couple of milestones at stake. Not only did Southeast of Saline finish the regular season 8-0 for the 6th consecutive season, they also claimed their 6th consecutive outright NCAA league title, also 8 in a row if you count the shared titles 2 years before that. Also the 6th consecutive season that they're the district champions, and the 2nd consecutive season that Southeast of Saline will have home field advantage in Class 2A in the West. Hi and welcome in to Southeast of Saline Pregame. It's brought to you by L&L Advisors as countdown to kickoff for Trojan football week number 9 underway. It is the first week of the Class 2A playoffs. My name is Devin Haney. I'll have play-by-play of tonight's contest. With me in the booth will be Tyler Smith, helping provide that live stream video that's free of charge tonight. Presented by Everhart Precision Ag is Brian Dennett. Back at Studio KINA, producing and engineering tonight's contest will be Nick Garst. Last Friday night, Southeast of Saline claimed a 53-12 victory over the Ellsworth Bearcats. And when you look at scoring, it was a game of up and downs for Southeast of Saline. They sprinted out to a 16-0 lead. Then a little bit of a lull in the second quarter on scoring took them into halftime, leading by 10, 16-6. Southeast would come out, turn the ball over in the third quarter, and the Bearcats would score again and pull within 4 points. With a little over 7 minutes left, it was 16-12, and one of the closest games Southeast of Saline has been in quite some time. But the Trojans would turn it on. They would score 37 consecutive points to end the game and take a 53-12 victory. 468 yards of total offense for Southeast of Saline, most of them on the ground, led by Grady Gephardt. 362 rushing yards as a team, and Grady in that game had a big night for Southeast of Saline. 20 carries, 234 yards, and 4 touchdowns for Gebhardt. Also, Tiernan Potachik in the passing game, 5 of 9 for just over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Amarion Holla, Bryson Lippold caught both the touchdowns for Southeast of Saline, as those two seniors had big nights once again for the Trojans. Now Southeast of Saline turns their attention to a 32-team bracket. Between tonight and tomorrow, we will cut this 32-team field in half and get down to 16 on the march to a Friday date in Hutchinson for a state championship. A lot of work, though, that needs to be done between now and then. Tonight it starts with the Mustangs of Southwestern Heights, a team that Southeast of Saline just not very familiar with. Southwestern Heights comes in 2-6 on this season. They've played a very, very tough schedule. When we come back here on Countdown to Kickoff, we will talk to J.R. Mendoza. He's the head coach of Southwestern Heights football. We'll see what's going on with the Mustangs and what their regular season was like. And then coming up in segment 3, we will talk to head coach Mitch Gebhardt of the Southeast of Saline Trojans. Our broadcast today is brought to you in part by Kansas Bankers Technologies and Technical Consulting, your partners in secure banking technology and seamless IT solutions. Countdown to kickoff for Trojan football. Week number 9 and week number 1 of the Class 2A playoffs is underway, and it's brought to you by L&L Advisors. It's open enrollment time. You want to lean on the experts that you trust and that you know, and those experts are at L&L Advisors. Main office at 717 Roach, just over by Salina Stadium, also in Salina Central Mall, and a location in downtown McPherson. Their newest location is in Manhattan. L&L Advisors, a proud supporter of Southeast of Saline student activities and academics, and also Countdown to Kickoff for Trojan football, heard worldwide on Salina Post and locally right here on KINA.
Hey Trojans fans, this is Angela Gebhardt, proud wife of Southeast Saline head coach Mitch Gebhardt. Just like the Trojans strive for excellence on the field, the Bank of Tesket goes the extra mile to offer top-notch checking accounts that fit your style. Whether you're managing your day-to-day expenses or planning for the future, our checking accounts are easy, convenient, and tailored for you. Plus, with your local roots and friendly service, we're here to support you every step of the way. Go Trojans!
Bank of Tesket, member FDIC.
When crop and weather conditions are just right, you need to bale as much as you can, as fast as you can, all while putting up the highest quality product possible. Case IH round balers have the reputation as the hardest working balers in the business to consistently build dense bales with square shoulders that don't sag. No matter the crop or field condition, bale more with Case IH round balers. With easier maintenance and serviceability, you'll spend more time where it counts. In the field, baling hay. Ready to build a better bale? Contact Can Equip in Solomon.
The Trojans are experts in precision passes, and Everhart Precision Ag are your experts in grid soil sampling. Everhart Precision Ag does all the sampling and data analysis in-house, keeping it local and close to the farm. They're also your local channel seedsman, selling all seeds with an emphasis in corn and soybeans. Trust Matt Everhart and Lane Hensley at Everhart Precision Ag, serving Saline, Dickinson, McPherson, and Ottawa counties, and also supporting Southeast of Saline Trojans. For more information, visit everhartprecision.com.
Are you looking to upgrade your home with high-quality flooring and appliances? Look no further than Salina Appliance and Flooring. We're your one-stop shop for all your home improvement needs. We offer a wide selection of flooring and appliance options. Visit our showroom today located at 740 North 9th or our website at salinaappliance.com.
The Appliance Center, your local, trustworthy, and family-owned appliance dealer, providing sales, service, and parts for Salina and the surrounding area since 1980. The Appliance Center, just north of Ace Hardware on Broadway in the red and white building. Stop in today and experience the Appliance Center difference.
Back here on Countdown to Kickoff, getting ready for playoff football. It's the last weekend of October as we get ready for Southeast of Saline and Southwestern Heights and our chance to go behind enemy lines and look at this Mustang team. It is under the direction of J.R. Mendoza, and Coach Mendoza joins us now. Coach, first of all, congratulations on getting to the playoffs, and also thank you so much for your time. I can't wait to see your guys play here tonight in this playoff atmosphere for Southwestern Heights. I appreciate you doing this.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on. It's always good to visit with some people about football. It's one of the things that we love.
Boy, when you look at your schedule this year, you've had a heavy hitter type of schedule. You kind of went through the gambit of H teams, if you will. Hugetson, who right now sets in coming into tonight at 7-1, Hoisington at 7-0, and then Holcomb from Class 3A at 8-0. That schedule's been tough for you this year on your way to a 2-5 record. Just talk about your competition this year overall and what you've seen between the lines on Friday nights.
Yeah, the competition was pretty high. And when you start talking about going to Southeast of Saline as well, we'll have played 4 top 5 teams in the state. Those are all good opponents. I really feel like, our guys played hard against them, gave me everything they have. That's kind of one of the things we ask. Hey, just give me what you got from the start of the game to the end, and then, we're going to be proud of that effort.
This is the team that comes in numbers-wise. You don't have a huge roster this year. Tell me about some of the challenges you've had with plugging guys in and getting guys in the right positions and things like that with limited numbers.
Yeah, we've had some injuries as well, some appendixes, concussions, things like that. So we're down on numbers. We're kind of down to about 18, 19 guys now that are at practice. We actually had to cancel some of our JV games, but we have tried to get some of the young guys playing time, on special teams. But yeah, our offensive line is a young crew. Lots of sophomores on that, but they've been learning and getting better every single week.
This is a team, when you see a schedule like this, you mentioned, including Southeast of Saline, 4 teams that are very, very good this season. What have you seen from your kids and how they responded to playing teams like that?
They just compete. They give me their best every single week. Our attitudes have been good. They've worked hard in practice. And so it's just a credit to them, to their families, to their parents who support us as well. We've just got a good group and a good bunch of seniors this year. They've been good leaders for us.
6 seniors on this team, Coach Mendoza. Let's get to know some of these guys and some of the names and faces that we'll be seeing tonight. Let's first start on the offensive side of the ball. What will we see when the Mustangs have the ball?
We've got a senior quarterback, Omar Mercado. He's a 3-year starter now. Throws the ball extremely well. He's a good running threat. He's coming back from a toe injury, second week of the season, but is finally 100% healthy. He'll have some of those offensive targets, and Jackson Stanfield, kind of a running back wide receiver, and then Dresden Zimmerman's another one of our senior wide receivers that he'll target tonight as well.
Let's look at the defensive side of the ball for the Mustangs.
Yeah, defensively, if we're talking about those seniors again, Martin Garcia is one of our guys who's played a kind of a corner for us as well, opposite of Omar. At the other cornerback, and they do a great job for us in coverage. And Jackson plays an outside linebacker. On a lot of teams, he's probably more of a safety type kid, but for us, he steps in and helps set the edge for us as an outside linebacker. Just flies around and does a really good job for us.
A short week here when you come into the playoffs, playing on Thursday night. What has it done that to? What has that affected on as far as your preparation goes and getting ready for this game?
Yeah, it just shortens it just a little bit. Doesn't change a whole lot for us. We're going to spend time offense, defense, and special teams. At this point in the season, there's not as much extra new things to put in. So a short week doesn't really hurt out a whole lot. You're just kind of working on what you're trying to get better at for this coming game.
2 teams tonight with Southwestern Heights and Southeast of Saline. They don't see each other very often. This is not a familiar matchup here in Class 2A tonight. That's one of the fun things to me about playoffs is getting to know other teams and getting to see other kids play. When you look at this matchup and you watch Southeast of Saline on film, Coach, what do you see with the Trojans?
The Trojans, man, they do a lot of things really, really well. They throw the ball extremely well, blocking. But what I liked most about them is just the way they fly around and hustle to the ball defensively. I know they're well coached, and they just do a lot of things well.
Your matchup here tonight, you're going to play to some of your strengths, what you feel like you have an advantage of. What are your keys to success for your team tonight?
Yeah, kind of the same things we talk about all the time. Not have a bunch of penalties. Don't turn the ball over. And then just do your job. Do what you're supposed to do. Read your keys to the best of your ability, and that's going to make us the most successful.
Coach, sure appreciate your time and getting to know your Mustangs. Can't wait to see your team play. Best of luck tonight.
Yeah, appreciate you a lot. Thanks for having us on.
Southwestern Heights head coach J.R. Mendoza spending time with us here on Pregame as we go behind enemy lines. It's brought to you by Lilypad Septic Service and Portable Restrooms. We'll be back with head coach Mitch Gebhardt. It's coming up next here on KINA.
When you're a working man with a job to do.
This is Jeff with Vanderbilt in Salina. Some people call us the work boot center of the universe. With over 10,000 pairs of boots in stock, yes, that's 10,000 pairs of boots under one roof. Hundreds of styles to fit your working, riding, or walking needs. Stop in and try on a pair of boots from the old classics to the new technology to find the comfort and durability you're after.
At Maury Clinic Sports Medicine, we are available when you need us most. I'm Dr. Andrew Westbrook, and I am the sports medicine physician at Maury Clinic. I see patients of all ages and help them come back stronger than ever. From broken bones to joint pain, my team and I are committed to help you do more. For those with sports injuries, come see us at our sports medicine walk-in clinic Monday and Thursday mornings from 8 to 9 a.m. Prevent, recover, and strengthen so you can perform your best. Maury Clinic Sports Medicine. Make your move with confidence.
Sage is your go-to source for industrial strength cleaning products, ice melt, floor equipment, paper, asphalt, and just about everything in between. Whether you're a maintenance supervisor, a small business, or just wanting your home to look amazing, stop by 732 North 9th Street in Salina, where we will be happy to assist you. You can also visit us at sageselects.com or call us at 309-1919. Sage Products, the right call every time.
Fall is the absolute best time for the experts at Commercial Tire Centers to look over your vehicle. Summer was tough on your tires, and winter's coming on strong. You don't want to be left stranded with tires that aren't performing. Car, truck, SUV, trailers, farm, and big rigs. Commercial Tire will help you keep safe and productive. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9th in Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
Back here on Countdown to Kickoff, it is week number 9, Southeast of Saline Trojan football here on KINA, also live video on SalinaPost.com. Time now for our pregame interview with head coach Mitch Gebhardt. It's brought to you by Frisbee Construction. And boy, Coach, here we are already. It's the last football date, a Thursday night here in October. November is right around the corner. Playoffs are here, and it just seems like every single year it goes faster and faster and faster. What happened to the month of October? Did you get any trace on what happened there?
No, I don't know what happened to it, and I still thought it was August. It's crazy how fast this is going.
Weather-wise, definitely feels like it could be October going into November. As we look back on your game last week, you were able to close out the regular season, and a bunch of milestones in this game against Ellsworth that we'll talk about here along the line. Overall, a 53-12 victory. You were able to extend a 16-12 lead with about 7.5 minutes left in the third quarter and really dominate the back end of this game. Overall, your thoughts on the victory against Ellsworth last Friday night?
Well, I really felt like our kids came out of the gate really well, got up 16-0, doing stuff well, and then we kind of had a lull that maybe we didn't play quite as well, or I got to give credit to Ellsworth too. Their kids played hard, and they got that score to 16-12, and I don't know if that was the wake-up call or not, but I thought our kids played awful well after that happened.
You may look at box scores and even final scores of some of the Southeast games this year and think that maybe this was a good thing that it was 16-12 deep into the game in the middle of the third quarter. And like you talked about, you wanted to see that from this squad. They are full of veterans, full of a bunch of leaders on this team. Were you impressed with the way that they kind of handled it? I mean, it wasn't a small comeback. It was a big comeback towards the end, wasn't it?
Well, and yes, and I feel like it was like, here we go, and then after things started rolling, kind of business as usual type situation. Here we go. We're going to start moving the football. We're going to start getting stops, and that's what those kids did, and that's what we've done a good portion of the season. Obviously, that's what you want to do. So yeah, I feel like our kids responded to 16-12 very, very well.
I always laugh when I hear people say, it happened with the Chiefs on Monday night. Could have happened to your team. I always kind of giggle when I hear people say, well, that locker room conversation at halftime must have been something. You don't always have teams that need that, though, do you?
No, you don't. And we had a good locker room conversation, no doubt about that. But we didn't make a huge amount of adjustments. We just started doing things better. We talked about some of the things that we didn't do correctly there in the first half and kind of got things straightened out. And our kids knew it, knew it going in there. And, I felt like, and then we fumbled the ball to come out to start out with the second half there. But we kind of got things straightened out then, and kids did a great job.
Offensively, over 450 yards of offense, a lot of that on the ground in this game. Tell me about your approach on offense and how that worked out.
Well, I felt like our guys up front were doing an outstanding job blocking what they had coming at us, and we felt like we could get them a little bit out of position at times, and our kids did. And we dropped a touchdown pass and didn't throw the ball well a couple times, but for the most part, I felt like our passing game was pretty good too.
When you look at down and distance in this game, there were a couple of stats that kind of made my brain spin a little bit. Third downs, you were 1 of 7. You only had 9 first downs in the entire game on your way to over 50 points. That doesn't happen very often, does it?
No, I looked at that when I was putting stats in, and we only had 9 first downs, and I was like, wow. Usually we're upper teens, lower 20s first downs, and I was surprised when I saw that also. Yeah, a lot of times you don't score 53 points when you don't get that many first downs.
Defensively, still a pretty good game for you. We knew that this Ellsworth team would be a load as far as running the football. You guys obviously had some attention on Tucker Goss and what he was able to do coming into this game. Held him in check pretty good. It was their quarterback run, though, that we saw for the first time. Kind of saw a new leaf, a new layer, if you will, of this Ellsworth offense. Tell me about the adjustments that were made there.
You know, and we knew he'd be good, and like you said, we were obviously gonna try to pay attention to Tucker Goss there and get him slowed down. Obviously, you're not going to stop a back like that, but the quarterback did an outstanding job. He's a good runner and threw the ball a little bit too. But you know, I felt like as we progressed through and understood what was going on, our kids did a good job at tackling him also.
You've seen a couple of different games now where Tiernan Potocik has had a chance to take the keys and start and be the starting quarterback on this team. Also, play more minutes on defense. Tiernan was already a part of your defense, but now he's playing a little bit more, it seems like. What have you seen from him over the first two games, especially running the offense?
You know, and we had all the confidence in the world in Tiernan going into it. We haven't changed anything that we've done in games because he's in there. We do this in practice. He gets about half the reps was before, and we were very confident with what he's doing. You know, I think he does an outstanding job of understanding what we want to do on offense and getting the balls to guys that we want to. He had 2 or 3 big runs there. I felt like that one run that he didn't quite get in the end zone there after they'd taken the lead 16-12 was a huge momentum for us, and we go and punch the ball in there. So he's doing great there. Defensively, he can play multiple positions on defense, and you know, we're very confident in everything that he does.
I want to talk about a few individuals that have really stepped up and had some moments. Often when you see injuries happen, hopefully as a coach you see some guys rise to the occasion. I think we've seen that. I want to start first with both offense and defense, really. We've seen a big emergence of Amarion Holub. We're talking about him a lot on the broadcast, and also Bryson Lippold. Talk to me about those two guys.
Yeah, and Amarion is just a great athlete, you know, and him and Canyon split time a lot, one of our receivers there, and Canyon's a little bit dinged up, but I think he'll be back more this week. But Amarion with the ball in his hands is good for the Trojans, and he continues to work and understand what we're doing, and he just continues to get better. Bryson Lippold's just solid. I mean, everything he does is the way it's supposed to be done, and you know, he does a nice job of catching the football, and then he's a physical runner after he gets it. And defensively, you know, he started for 3 years for us and does an outstanding job on defense.
Had a neat play on defense where a takeaway happened. Brody Chambers was involved in that. Do you give Brody the fumble recovery, or do you give him the interception on that one?
That's been a debate all week with Brody, and we call it a fumble recovery, but he was wanting the interception. So, but it is a fumble recovery.
How much did you think he was going to break that one last tackle though and start rumbling down the field for you?
Man, I was hoping he'd get out in the open and they could show his speed.
Yeah. So big win over Ellsworth. Again, some milestones in this game, as it has been a kind of a milestone game the last few years. You were able to not only take the NCAA league outright, you were also able to win a district championship for the 6th consecutive year. You're also able to clinch the #1 seed in the West and make it home field advantage, where the playoffs, as long as you are alive, will go through southeast of Saline. There were a lot of things on senior night that were at stake for this team. Now you get a chance to kind of hit pause briefly, not for a long time, because of this Thursday night game now coming in the first round of the playoffs. But when you look at the bracket, when that thing first comes out, and I know we're all kind of piecing it together Friday night when we're leaving the stadium, how do you feel about where you're at right now, and when you look around at some of the other teams that you may potentially come across?
Well, you know, we're focused on playing Southwestern Heights #1, but I was when we could get that win on Friday night against Ellsworth and everything, and we get to have home field advantage. It's such a big deal for us. We always have a good crowd everywhere we go, and now we get to play at home. So, you know, I think that was a big one for us. Bracket's tough. It always is. If you look on both sides of it, we play good teams every single night. That if we can continue to win, so we just need to be ready every week when it happens.
This is a Southwestern Heights team. The Mustangs come in, and boy, their record has been something else this year. They've kind of gone through the gamut of H teams. They played Hugoton, who is 7-1 currently, Hoisington, who's 7-0, Holcomb out of 3A, who's 8-0. When you look at them on film, what do you see out of the Mustangs?
Well, you're exactly right with the schedule they've played. It's tough. You look at their schedule, and there's two teams on there that they probably should have beat, and those are the two teams that they did. So those other teams that they played are outstanding programs, and we know that they're going to be after playing those teams, they've continued to get better throughout the year. They do a good job on offense. Their quarterback is very athletic. We can't let him roam around and make plays. We got to get to him. We got to stop the run game. Their defense does an excellent job. They're battle tested. It's going to be a tough game for us on Thursday.
A little weird getting ready for a Thursday game, but I imagine now everybody at the stadium kind of getting settled in. It's going to feel like game day regardless. What do you want to see most out of your guys tonight?
I think we talk about this every week, but we got to get first downs, and we got to keep the ball out of their offense hands. We got to be efficient on offense. We had a couple turnovers last week that we don't normally have, and we don't want to do that either. So just make sure we're playing good, strong Trojan football on offense. Defensively, get a lot of hats to football. I feel like the last 3 or 4 weeks we're doing a better job of that, of just getting a lot of people to football. And then special teams, we got to be solid there all the way around.
Mitch Gebhardt, head coach of the Southeast of Saline Trojans. His guys tonight, first round of the playoffs at home, taking on Southwestern Heights. Coach, best of luck to you. We'll talk to you at halftime.
All right, Devin, thank you.
Back with more Trojan pregame after this here on KINA.
4 walls and a roof can make a house, but a home, that's where life happens. First steps, backyard birthdays, morning coffee, sunsets on the porch. Home isn't something you buy, it's something you feel. And when it's right, you just know. For 22 years, Dan Goebel has helped people in Salina find that feeling. And now he's here to help you. Your home is out there. Dan Goebel knows the way. Call 785-819-1904 or visit Salina Homes to find your way home.
The Kansas City Chiefs earn championship rings. Bold, brilliant, and one of a kind. Now you can have a ring that's just as unforgettable. At Vernon Jewelers in Salina, we create custom rings that tell your story. From stunning engagement rings to personalized designs, our craftsmanship makes every piece a winner. Celebrate life's biggest moments with a ring that's truly yours. Stop by Vernon Jewelers, downtown Salina since 1884. We're not old, we're just really good at what we do.
Your next visit to the doctor for an upcoming procedure or surgery should start with a conversation about Salina Surgical Hospital. Hi, this is Geraldine Diedrich, and we are truly committed to fostering your health and well-being. From outpatient procedures to inpatient stays, you will feel the difference in our excellent care and compassion. Talk to your doctor about scheduling your next procedure at Salina Surgical Hospital. Your surgical experience is our specialty. Salina Surgical Hospital is partially owned by a group of local, community-involved physicians.
Your mailbox is stuffed full, and the phone keeps ringing. There are even strangers knocking at your door. Open enrollment time for Medicare and prescription drug plans is here, and it brings all kinds of unsolicited activity. Call a local firm with people you know at L&L Advisors. Plans can change pretty drastically year to year, and the agents at L&L Advisors are happy to answer your questions, give you advice, and make you feel at ease. With 2 locations in Salina, on Roach Street and Central Mall, and on South Main and McPherson. Built on honesty and trust, call L&L Advisors today.
This has been Countdown to Kickoff. The opening kick is right around the corner.
It's about to get ugly.
Back to the stadium we go for Trojan football on KINA Sports.
Welcome back into the campus of Southeast of Saline High School, and Steve Fritz Field is the place for round number 1 of the playoffs in Class 2A. It's a Thursday game. There is a good handful of teams playing tonight in Class 2A and across the state of Kansas. We'll go over that for you when we get things started here. But Devin Haney, Tyler Smith in the booth, Chris Cadle producing and engineering, Brian Dennett with live stream video. Free of charge tonight. It's all brought to you by Everhart Precision Ag. Our game conditions, boy, I don't think you can get any better for the last weekend of October. Of course, it's Halloween Eve. Tomorrow being October 31st, and the Kniper Agency of Farmers Insurance shows us a game time temperature of 59 degrees, a slight breeze, 5 to 10 miles an hour to the west-northwest. We'll drop about 10 degrees during this game here tonight. Tyler Smith, it is Southeast of Saline, the number 1 seed in the West, taking on the number 16 seed in Southwestern Heights. Your keys to success tonight for Southeast of Saline to advance.
Yeah, Devin, it's 1 versus 16. We've all watched enough March Madness. We've watched this, tournaments, with the NCAA basketball tournament. It's a 1-16. You're at home. You take care of business. Nothing pretty. Style points don't matter anymore from here on out. They never mattered before, but we always, we like to nitpick, how things are going. does not matter tonight. You get out there, you rely on your trenches, you do what you've had a lot of success with. We're going to see a huge run game, I would assume. We're going to see Gebhardt, we're going to see Holub, we're going to see a lot of guys, and we're going to see that defense. That defense is going to get nasty. They're going to make things really difficult for Southwestern Heights, and you want to play fast. Southwestern Heights, they come in with a much smaller roster than Southeast of Saline, so you want to go. Nothing changes. This is what Southeast has done to be successful. You just continue to do that. Get yourself beyond tonight. Get yourself an extra day of rest, extra day to prepare, and get ready for next week.
'Tis the season right around the corner for Remote Start. Nobody does it better than New Image Audio with Drone Mobile. You can not only start your car, you can unlock the doors, you can keep track of your car with GPS monitoring. That's all the New Image Audio in Salina. Just to give you a little bit of a capsule on the Mustangs from Southwestern Heights, they come into this game at two schools that really aren't that familiar with each other. Under the Mitch Gebhardt era, they have never played. I didn't have a chance today to go back and look in the history of Southeast of Saline football, but just two teams that just don't hook up in any sport really that often. They're under the direction of second-year head coach J.R. Mendoza. He's also the activities director at Southwestern Heights, has a son on the team, and they come in with 2 wins on the season. They are ready to tangle with the defending state champions. Adam Teal has the ball on the tee. Southeast comes out. They are dressed in all purples tonight. Purple helmets, purple shirts, purple pants. Southwestern Heights in a red helmet, white top, and black pant kit. As we are ready to get things underway, Teal awaiting the signal from the official as we are just about ready to go. It'll be the last game that we kick off in the playoffs here under daylight, unless it's the last game of the playoff bracket. Southwestern Heights, trouble with the kickoff. They chase it all the way back to the 5 and then have to step out of bounds at the 10. They will be pinned back deep on their own side of the field to start this drive. Let's meet the Trojan defense. It's brought to you by Salina Fence Company. Bryson Lippold, Drew Weller, Tristan Swank, Brody Chambers, the defense's leading tackler, all up front for Southeast of Saline. Your corners tonight, Malachi Hopkins, Caden Berrigan. We'll also see Tyler Bramblett rotate in there as well. Your linebackers, Amarion Hollub, Killian Vaughn, Kenyon Douglas, Grady Gebhardt, and your safety is Tiernan Potachik. We will also see Adam Teal, and also Josh Watkins, Elijah Kerr, Garrett Kuhn, Tyson Keller. We'll see a lot of Trojans tonight on that defense. There's a shotgun snap. A pass out to the right-hand side is complete for the Mustangs. They're going to take it ahead for about 4 yards on first down.
Yeah, Manny Mendoza right there, coach's son, the junior right there. That's a good target, big target right there. That's what you need to do. Just continue to move the ball, make sure it's positive yardage right there. You see a nice 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6 right now for Southwestern Heights. The Mustangs here's what you need to do for Southwestern Heights. You need to control the clock. You want to slow the game down and get positive yards on every single play. Anything that sets them back is going to get them behind the chains and really make things difficult for them.
Mendoza is a junior. He's the leading receiver on this team, as you said, Coach Mendoza's son. Here's a drive on a run, right-hand side, and Brody Chambers is there to throw it back for a loss. The 4 yards they just got, they are going to lose on the handoff that was a counter play to the right-hand side.
Yeah, and you just saw right there, like, it's such a tough matchup for any team, especially for Southwestern Heights. I mean, Chambers just busts through the offensive line, mixed tackle in the backfield to stay ahead of the chains. You have to run the ball. You can't just throw. But it's going to be a tough sled for Southwestern, I think, tonight.
Ball setting just outside of the 10. This is not an electric team on offense. They have had their struggles this year. They average about 142 yards of offense per game on the season. Split receivers now. We go 2-by-2 and a total of 4, and this play is going to be whistled dead before it starts. It's procedure against Southwestern Heights, and that will take them back half the distance to the goal to about the 5.5.
Yeah, they had that jet motion. That jet motion, when it came, it looked like the cadence was a little bit off from the quarterback. Just the timing, and now all of a sudden, when you're looking at 3rd and long, this is really – it's going to be a difficult situation. I'm looking for Mendoza, and I'm sure Coach Gebhardt knows that's where you're looking to get the ball if you're Southwestern Heights.
They'll go back to the 6 here. It'll be 3rd down and 14 for the Mustangs. Again, a 2-by-2 formation. 2 receivers stacked almost on top of each other to the right-hand side. One of them crossing. They will go to that receiver at the 10-yard line, tackled down by Grady Gebhardt for a gain of about 4 on the play. Mercado that time was able to hit Jackson Stanfield for a 4-yard gain, and that will bring up 4th down and 10 for the Mustangs. Back deep, Malachi Hopkins and Amarion Holub. Has anybody been better for the southeast of Saline team all the way around on offense, defense, and special teams than Amarion Holub lately?
No, I mean, Holub's been electric every time he gets the football, and this is what's fun. Both these guys love to block. They're going to find someone to make contact with regardless who catches this football.
High snap, able to get it down. James Friesen was there to put some token pressure on the punter. Didn't want to get a penalty there and give Southwestern Heights a cheap first down, and this punt's going to roll to midfield and die at the 48. So Southeast of Saline will take over there after not yielding anything on their first defensive possession, and they will come out and they will have their quarterback, junior Tiernan Potacik, under center and also in shotgun. He will not be under center tonight at any time. I just slipped out of that one out, by the way. Grady Gebhardt, Kenyon Douglas, Amarion Holub, also Caden Berrigan, Bryson Lippold, Malachi Hopkins, Tyler Bramblett, your skill players around Tiernan Potacik tonight as TP gets ready to go on his 3rd varsity start. He has Grady Gebhardt directly behind him. 2 wide receivers off to the left-hand side. They're going to run it on a counter play. Starts out right, comes back left. Gebhardt gets rid of the first would-be tackler, shaking off Mustangs, coming out to the 42-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the first carry for Grady Gebhardt, who's running behind an offensive line that looks like this from left to right. Tristan Swank at left tackle. Drew Weller. Also Killian Vaughn, Brody Chambers, and Garrett Kuhn.
Yeah, Devin, Omar Mercado right there. It just comes in and he makes the initial contact, made it difficult for Grady. It kind of spins Grady around. You just saw Southwestern Heights, the Mustangs, they gathered around him.
Here's some motion for Amarion Holub that gives to Gebhardt. Steps through a Mustang tackle, trying to get through another one. He's going to be brought down at the 30-yard line. It's another gain for Grady Gebhardt. This one goes all the way down to the 30-yard line, and it's a gain of 12.
Yeah, and you're seeing it right now. Just get the ball up the middle, get the ball to your bread and butter. You're just going with the nice, easy stuff. The offensive line's getting a big push. They're getting to that second level, which we talk a lot about, and let Grady just work.
Gebhardt quietly went over 1,000 yards rushing for the season last week in their game here against Ellsworth. 2 wide receivers to the right. Lippold staying in tight for Southeast of Saline here in the early going. Pitch out to Lippold's side to Grady Gebhardt. He's looking, now cutting back, has a first down and more inside the 20, carrying with Southwestern Heights players to the 18-yard line. Back-to-back gains of 12, 2 carries and 24 yards for Grady Gebhardt.
And it's getting on that toss sweep. You're watching the perimeter. We love to see, everything that's going on for Southeast, how they're blocking out on the outside. And right there, you just see KB, you see Caden Berrigan. You're starting to think that finger. He had an injury issue earlier on. He's working well because he's getting those hands inside, doing a great job.
Fake pitch out, Gebhardt, right-hand side. Potacik up to throw and bounces it off the numbers on the chest of Amarion Holub. Holub maybe looking back into that. I'm not making excuses. I'm just pointing out the field conditions right now. The sun is down, but it's not quite down. When you get up into kind of the bottom of the goalpost there, if you're watching on the video stream, there is some light coming in through the stadium, and it makes weird shadows across this field. You can see it more prevalent at about the 30-yard line. That might be what got in Amarion's eyes. I don't know. It'll be second down here and 10 from the 13 after that incomplete pass. Here's Potacik going back to Gebhardt. Don't have to worry about him not catching the ball as he goes right into the end zone. It's a handoff and a run as Southeast goes right back to the running game. The shadows don't matter when you give it to Grady Gebhardt.
No, not at all. And right there, so we saw 2 plays to the perimeter. We saw the pitch, and then we saw the rollout, and then all of a sudden that perimeter has to kind of widen out a little bit, softens up that inside spot, and you just see the inside, those offensive linemen eat, and Grady just did his job.
8:11 left to go. Here's a 2-point conversion attempt. Potacik going right back into the end zone, and a sliding catch for Grady Gebhardt. That is going to put the 2-point conversion on the board. Scoring underway. First quarter, 8:11 left to go here in the opening period. Southeast of Saline goes down the field, and they get 8 right here on KINA.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the Heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits. APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
Back here, it is the 23rd rushing touchdown for Grady Gebhardt on the season. This one comes from 13 yards away with 8:01 left to go in the first quarter. Grady also caught the 2-point conversion pitch from Tiernan Potocik, 8-0. Southeast of Saline score and recap is presented by Dr. Andrew Westbrook at Maury Clinic Sports Medicine. Visit Dr. Westbrook at his sports injury walk-in clinic every Monday and Thursday mornings for your activity and sports injuries. Here's the kickoff, this time by Malachi Hopkins. It's going to go to about the 18. Fumbled again, but then picked right back up by Southwestern Heights, looking for the edge, and they will bring it here on a nice return out to the 30-yard line. On the return that time for the Mustangs is Jackson Stanfield.
But yeah, Jackson Stanfield, composed himself. A lot of times when you see that ball bobbled on the kickoff return, it's really difficult to kind of gain your composure. You did a good job doing it, but you just saw Southeast just continue to, the pressure was there, all 11 hats were there, just exactly what you want on a kickoff return coverage.
Out to the 31, a lot better than the 10-yard line they started out at the last time. Oh, by the way, that last drive for Southeast of Saline went for 48 yards. First down and 10 for the Mustangs. They come out, 3 wide receivers to the short side of the field on the right. Here's the snap back, little pitch out, right-hand side. Mercado looking for a receiver out here on the edge. It's Xavier Del Torre, a freshman, and they're able to take 4 yards on that play. It's another 4-yard completion in this passing game for Southwestern Heights.
Yeah, I like that. So they had trips right, and then they bring Del Torre across. They have that motion, and they're not looking to get the ball to him right away off the snap, but it's clearing everybody else out. Nice little out. You get a 4-yard pickup, but not a lot of yards after the catch, and that's what you want to eliminate if you're Southeast.
Nose of the football, sitting at the 35-yard line. It's 5 wide receivers. They go to Mendoza. He is over the middle, got hit hard by Gebhardt. Grady unable to wrap him up. Mendoza kind of bounces off and then loses a couple of yards. They may give him kind of the median of forward progress and going backwards here. They're going to get him somewhere in the middle there and put the football down at the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 3.
Yeah, tough catch from Mendoza coming across the traffic, across the lane. He catches the football. All of a sudden, that big-time hit from Gebhardt continues to keep his feet on the ground, tries to gain yards, but then everybody just swarms to him, pushes him back a little bit.
How about Southwestern Heights right now in the passing game? Omar Mercado at quarterback is 4 of 4 passing the football, just kind of chipping away on these little short passes. They have Dresden Zimmerman, a senior, split wide out to the left by himself, and there's movement up front as flags will come in here, and it will be a procedure penalty against the Mustangs of Southwestern Heights that will drive them back to the 33. For Southwestern Heights, you look at the distance between schools in Kismet in Seward County. It is a round trip between Southeast of Saline and Southwestern Heights and their campuses of 442 miles, quite the road trip. And there is a common thread when you look at the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon or whatever it is, where you see all these threads. The thread is the name Vaughn. Killian Vaughn, senior linebacker and center, his dad Jeff, who is the undersheriff in Dickinson County, I understand, an alum of Southwestern Heights. Here's another pass play. It goes over the middle. This one's going to be caught past the 35 and back to the 37 goes Xavier Del Torre. And that'll bring up 4th down now for Southwestern Heights, back out to the 38-yard line.
Devin, I really like what Southwestern Heights is doing. They understand that they can't run the ball up the middle. We've talked about this front 7, this defensive 7, from Southeast is just nasty. They're dirty. So are the DBs. However, if you can push them back and just chip away and just do little things here and there, dink and dunk, try to use that as your short run game. We grew up with this West Coast offense. We're throwing the ball to the wide receivers. It's like a new school West Coast offense. We're just throwing, short passes. Get what you can get and see what happens. 4th and 3, maybe a hard count look here. And now Southwestern Heights is going to burn a timeout as they want to talk about this 4th down and 3. Not quite to midfield. Line of scrimmage is at the 38-yard line. 5.5 minutes left to go here first quarter. While the 4th down after this 30-second timeout, it's Trojan football on KINA.
For 40 years, Phillips Seed has delivered top-quality certified seeds. With wheat drilling season approaching, now's the time to reach out to Phillips Seed Farms for the latest variety options and tailored seed treatments. It's also the perfect opportunity to plant your corn hybrids and soybean varieties for the 2025 planting season. Visit PhillipsSeed.com, follow us on Facebook and X, or connect with a local seed dealer near you. Phillips Seed, serving, innovating, growing since 1985.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Trojan football back here on KINA. It's a 4th down and 3 for the Mustangs from Southwestern Heights. And back deep, Malachi Hopkins and Amarion Hollup will retreat back. They'll be standing with their feet on their own 30. Here's a snap back, and the punt put in the air by Xavier Del Torre. Hollup will take it at the 32. Makes a Mustang miss out to the 40, to the 50. Has Hopkins out in front. Hollup still on his feet as he takes it just inside of the 40-yard line to the Southwestern Heights 39. What a return that was by the senior Amarion Hollup.
Devin, not only a great return, but Canyon Douglas right there had the opportunity to make a huge block that would have sprung that thing for a touchdown. But to make that block, he would have committed a 15-yard block in the back penalty. He put his hands up. He didn't touch the Southwestern Heights defender. He's like, this is a better spot than if I commit this penalty and push us back 15 yards. Again, that's just football awareness that we see Southeast of Saline continue to show they have.
1st down and 10. Trojans, Tiernan Patacic, quick little out route. That thing was a bullet, and it went right by Malachi Hopkins for an incompletion. So far, Southeast of Saline starting this game 0 of 2. They did have a completion, but that was on a 2-point conversion, after that touchdown. Look at the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Other games going on tonight. Of course, you're going to be keeping a keen eye on Chapman at Andale, El Salina, Washington County, Solomon, and Lincoln. A couple of 8-man games there. Also, a handful of games in Class 2A. That will advance on in this bracket that we'll keep an eye on as well. 2nd down and 10 after that incomplete pass. Delayed handoff right back to Gebhardt. Slips out of a tackle. Double spin move at 30, 25, 20. Cuts it back to the inside 15 and brought down at the 13-yard line. A 26-yard gain for Grady Gebhardt, as that time the spin move wasn't good enough. He went double spin.
Yeah, for those of you that play Madden, play PlayStation, that's circle back in our old school days. Just, you don't hit that twice unless you have a player that can do it, and Grady can do it, and he gained himself an extra 10 yards after the double spin move. Just a great play from Gebhardt.
Gebhardt already 5 carries, 69 yards. 2 receivers out to the right-hand side. Patacic rolling that way, back of the end zone. Up in the back of the end zone, it's going to be a catch and a touchdown. Climbing the ladder, going up and getting that football is Amarion Hollup. What a catch.
Devin, I don't know where else that ball could have been thrown. I mean, just the touch on that ball. I mean, there was one spot. As a quarterback, you want to throw that ball where it's either incomplete or it's a touchdown. I thought he was throwing it away. I thought he was throwing that ball away to that, that right side of the end zone. Just a great catch from Hollup.
Hollup, another receiving touchdown. This time they'll go straight handoff to Gebhardt, who's struggling to get in the end zone, and he will be denied and turned away. But Southeast of Saline adds 6 more. With 4:51 left to go here in the first quarter, Trojans jump out in front 14-0. It's Trojan football, and it's presented by Everhart Precision Ag.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
You're listening to Trojan Football.
Back here on KINA, Trojan football, it's a 39-yard drive. Patacic to Hollup for a baker's dozen. 13 yards, no 2-point conversion, and Southeast of Saline jumps out 14-0. That scoring recap presented by Dr. Andrew Westbrook at Maury Clinic Sports Medicine. Here's the kick, this time by Adam Teal. It'll land in a soft spot at the 15-yard line and then go out of bounds. Nice heads-up play out there by the Mustang, Jackson Stanfield, letting that go out of bounds and getting his team about an additional 25 yards.
Yeah, you saw Stanfield right there. Like, he knew he had the opportunity to catch the football. You saw the trajectory. He understood where he was on the field, let that ball go out of bounds. You're gaining field position, and that's exactly what the Mustangs need right now. You're just looking to get chunks of yards regardless of how it is. And if you get them the easy way without having to snap the football, you're going to take them. That's just a headsy play from Jackson Stanfield, the senior from Southwestern Heights.
Excuse me, Tyler. Games in 2A tonight that are going on. Thursday night football, Nemaha Central, the number 1 team in the East. They're tangling with West Franklin tonight. Also, Council Grove is in action tonight. Sabetha plays Humboldt tonight. Caney Valley against Galena. Eureka against Atchison County. Haven plays Kingman. And Beloit plays Lakin. All those games in Class 2A. Here's a slant. It's going to be caught, and it's going to be a first down for the Mustangs. What a nifty play that was for Southwestern Heights, as Dresden Zimmerman, that senior off the left-hand side, able to catch the football and advance it out to the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 13.
Again, Coach Mendoza is going with that empty backfield, so it's an overload to the right. So we got tight end, we got 3 receivers, and then all of a sudden we got that empty side over there on the left. And on the left, it's just one-on-one. He's going to hit the slant. If the linebacker's not there, he's going to take what he can get.
2-by-2 this time, total of 4 wide receivers. Here comes a motion man. It'll be Del Torre, it looks like. He'll stick his toes in the sand, doesn't like what he sees, and then end up losing a yard as Drew Weller, Brody Chambers come crashing down on him. First man through was Grady Gebhardt, and it will be a loss of 1, 2nd down and 11.
And you're seeing this defense completely they'll allow things. They're trying to see what the flow of the game is like, but they're not letting anybody over the top. I don't know if this offense can go over the top over them, so they're going to take what they can get, in that short game. And you're just seeing, again, the defense let you take it. We're going to make tackles. We're going to make sure you don't get yards after the catch.
2nd down and 11 from their own 47-yard line. Mustangs right here about midfield at that beautiful Trojan logo. Here's a pitch out, and it's knocked out of the air by Bryson Lippold. That time, a pass that probably should have had more on it, but Mercado was backpedaling a little bit when he launched that pass out here, and Lippold was able to get the left hand in there and knock it away.
Yeah, you immediately see it's that left hand. You want to see Lippold go with the right hand on that, just in case that ball gets through. He's there for the tackle. I think Lippold's going with that left hand just in case it catches, and just in case that ball sticks to the hand. That's a pick 6. And we know Lippold only scores touchdowns that are big. And right there would have been a big one right there, but just in the right spot at the right time.
That's the first incompletion for Southwestern Heights so far this evening. 3rd down and 11, and Brody Chambers is going to make it a 3rd down and 6 as he was too anxious off the right-hand side, and he's going to give Southwestern Heights 5 yards here. That'll move the football across midfield for the first time for the Mustangs, and it will go from the 47 on one side to the 48 on the other.
And here's what I love when you see somebody like Brody Chambers jump offside. Nobody on the coaching staff is upset because nobody's more upset than Brody Chambers at himself for jumping off right there.
I like to see the next play after that happens. Here's Mercado, and Brody Chambers sacks him. Brody Chambers said, I might screw up one play, but I'm going to get you on the next one and totally redeem myself.
And that's exactly why the coaching staff wasn't upset with that. They knew that Brody made the mistake. Brody knew he made it, and right there he made up for it. It's a big-time sack, 4th and 7 right now for Southwestern Heights.
Chambers on the sack. He leads this defense in tackles, and that is his 8th tackle for loss. 9th. He has 2 in this game. 9th tackle for loss this season. Wasn't that long ago. Remember I said Brody didn't have a quarterback sack yet. He's changed that the last couple of weeks. 4th down now from the 49. Southwestern Heights in punt formation. Here's the punt. It's going to be high and angling over to the left, and it will land out of bounds and give Southeast of Saline decent field position here as they will probably get this about the, well, nope, it's going to be 26. I was going to guess the 30. So worst field position start of the night for Southeast of Saline as they will come out, get the football again. This will be their 3rd possession of the game, and they lead 14-0.
Yeah, right now just everything is working for you for Southeast. I mean, your defense is making things really difficult for Southwestern Heights. Your offense is rolling. It's doing a great job, and you just continue to roll with that.
From the 26, 3 Southeast Trojans split out to the left-hand side. Holub now becomes a motion man. He goes across the formation. Potachik's going to keep it. Tiernan looking over his right-hand shoulder. He's going to go ahead to the 35, take 9 yards on 1st down. It'll be 2nd down and 1 after Tiernan Potachik's first run of the night.
And, Devin, I know that, we're seeing the Southeast offense work. They're doing well. But we haven't seen huge plays. I mean, give credit to the Mustangs right now. I mean, they got players that are taking care of their responsibilities.
2nd down and 1 from the 35. Here's Holub out on the screen, and he's going to take it out to the 45. A 10-yard carry off the screen pass. Potachik to Holub that time.
Yeah, and again, we saw, a positive play from Southeast, which we see spring free a lot. But this Mustangs defense, they rallied around it. They have some athletes out there making good defensive plays. This is the type of team you just continue to wear down. Make sure everybody's making tackles. Make sure you're testing people every single play before you know it, you're going to bust one.
1st down here for Southeast of Saline. They go back to Gebhardt. He's going to bounce it out to the right-hand side. Now it's a race to the sideline. He's at the 50, turns the corner, 45, 40, and then stops there as he ran out of space at the 40-yard line. A 14-yard carry by Grady Gebhardt.
Yeah, sealed off so well from that offensive line. Just made sure that nobody was there to touch him, and you saw that Grady was not touched until he got 10 yards downfield, already had that first down, and the yards after contact, he's going to make people miss once he gets into the rhythm. It's great yardage for Southeast of Saline.
Pitch out Gebhardt, left-hand side. Blockers out in front. Swank, one of them. Adam Teal was another, and Gebhardt will take it now inside of the 35-yard line to the 33. It's a gain of 7 for Grady Gebhardt, and on his 7th carry of the night, unofficially, he has 90 yards. Gebhardt, what a great season, right? When you combine rushing and receiving touchdowns, he's sitting on 32 touchdowns right now.
Well, he continues to show us that his game is unlimited. He can go inside, he can go outside, he can catch the ball, he can do so many things. And right there, and you're seeing a huge push from this offensive line, just creating easy spaces for him.
2nd and 3, might be a pump and go. Potachik's going to step up, though. Malachi Hopkins comes back to him, and he's going to have the catch at the 20-yard line. What a play that was. They were looking to go deep. Potachik got in trouble. Give Malachi Hopkins the notice there because he came back to Potachik to make the catch.
Yeah, and the fact that Potachik didn't panic. He understood that the pump and go's not there anymore. And, we talk about this, we see this, all the time, like with the Chiefs. You see Mahomes to Kelsey all of a sudden find that soft spot. That's exactly what Hopkins did right there. He understood that all of a sudden that pump and go is not going to be there, comes back, finds that soft spot. Great throw from Potachik. Hopkins, nice reception, gets more yards after the catch.
Total awareness by both young men on that play. From the 20, first down. Here's Gebhardt taking on Mustangs, and he'll tumble down at the 11-yard line after a gain of 9. Now knocking on the door of 100 yards once again is Grady Gebhardt. Also give Tiernan Potachik a little bit of ring of the phone here. He started out 0-2. Now he has passed for 3 consecutive completions.
Yeah, and it's always nice just to exhale a little bit, right? Like, we still forget that this is only start number 3 for this young man. Like, it's just, get used to it. You're all right. You get 30 seconds left in the first quarter, so it'll be interesting to see what Southeast does here. But, yeah, just continue to rely on your big guys up front.
Lyric Lilly in there right now. Also 2 rotating offensive linemen. They screen out to Lilly at the 10, slams on the brakes, and he'll be brought down at the 6. It's a gain of 5. Chambers and Weller will come back in for Southeast of Saline. Out there getting some time, giving them a breather, was Ryan Weller. Also out there was Elijah Kerr for a few plays. The rotations continue.
And, Devin, I think with under 5 seconds left, they're just going to run this out. Well, it looks like they're trying to get a play off before the first quarter ends.
And they will not, as Southeast of Saline will have it at the 7-yard line. First down and goal when we come back to start the second quarter. It's 14-0. Southeast of Saline, as you listen to Trojan football here on KINA and watch live stream video on SalinaPost.com. It's presented tonight by Everhart Precision Ag.
Mary Maids in Salina offers house cleaning services you can see and feel. Your home is more than just a house. It's where memories are made and moments are cherished. Though life can be complicated, house cleaning shouldn't be. Mary Maids strives to take the stress out of your day so you can live your life your way. With more than 40 years experience and an advanced time-tested cleaning process, they can help you reclaim time with your loved ones. Find Mary Maids on Facebook or check out their website at marymaids.com.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back here getting ready to start second quarter action. First round of the playoffs. It's the second quarter. That's presented tonight by Assyria Oil and Hardware. Boy, I tell you what, Tyler, what a good start here for Southeast of Saline. You look at this game and you expect, boy, this could get out of hand early. Like you said, it's a 1-16 matchup. Nothing but respect right now for Southwestern Heights. This is a team that comes in as a 16 seed. They've had a tough season. They've played some very, very good competition. But also, they only have 22 guys on their roster.
Yeah, and we've discussed this, like Coach Mendoza. Obviously, you're doing the little things well. They tackle so well. Like, it's usually the first guy in contact. There's hats that are following them, and they're making the tackle.
Here's Gebhardt. They fake it to him. Potachik straight ahead. Makes a cut, makes a guy miss. And Tiernan Potachik is going to work it into the end zone on his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. This one comes on the first play of the second quarter from 7 yards away.
Yeah, and right there, it's just that zone read, right? He reads it. He sees the linebacker flies, and he all of a sudden he has an empty alley. Nobody's there. He just takes it right up the gut for the touchdown. Just a great read from Tiernan Potachik.
7-yard touchdown run. Now they're going for 2. Stretch play, right-hand side.
Marion Hollub. He has Drew Weller out in front, and there's nobody out there for Weller to block. Chambers was already at the back of the end zone with his man blocking, and it'll be a 2-point conversion for Southeast of Saline. 11:55 left to go here in the second quarter. That's brought to you by Asteria Oil and Hardware. 22-0, Southeast of Saline out in front on KINA.
He's looking end zone. Touchdown, Kansas Wesleyan. Coyote fans, don't forget that Copyco is the only retailer in town where you can buy great gear at a great price to showcase your K-Dub pride. Don't see what you're looking for on the racks? They can custom make items so you can support any athlete on any team, from t-shirts and hats to hoodies and so much more. Your home for Kansas Wesleyan gear is Copyco in Salina, located at 2346 Planet Avenue.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Tyler Smith, Devin Haney back here. First round of the playoffs across the state of Kansas. Again, games tonight, games tomorrow. It's a doubleheader, if you will, of high school football. As we will cut the field in half between tonight and tomorrow night in Class 2A, we'll go from 32 to 16. That will be in action next week. It happens quick. Here's a squib kick by Malachi Hopkins. It's going to be picked up in a big collision at the 35. Has come crashing in that time for Southeast of Saline was Josh Watkins.
And Devin right there, 10 hats to the ball. Marion Hollub on the other side making sure that if anybody trickles free, he's there to make a tackle. That's exactly what that's the key between great teams and just good teams. I mean, there's just hats flying around on special teams for Southeast of Saline. Everybody's where they needed to be. And if anybody got free from the Mustangs from Southwestern Heights, Marion Hollub is probably going to run them down.
Line of scrimmage will be at the 37-yard line. Southwestern Heights comes out. That last drive by Southeast of Saline, by the way, 74-yarder. Here's a ball on the turf. There's a scrum after it. Southeast of Saline believes they have it, and they do. The first turnover of the game goes against Southwestern Heights, and it's deep in Southeast of Saline territory. The Trojans will come out, and they will take over at the 34.
Yeah, Devin, right there. Omar Mercado, he was just caught in no man's land. The quarterback right there. If that's going to be a jet sweep, you want to see that little pop pass. You like the pop pass because if that ball's not completed, it's not a fumble, it's an incomplete pass right there. He was trying to read it. He read wrong. Running back read wrong. It's a fumble. Big-time turnover.
Two receivers to the left-hand side. Here's Potacek throwing it back. Gebhardt has it 5 yards deep in the backfield. Now to the 30, now to the 20. Blockers out in front to the 5, and he's going to be into the end zone as he tight ropes the sideline on the right-hand side. Chambers, Vaughn, both out there blocking for Southeast of Saline as Grady Gebhardt is able to take it in from 37 yards away.
Yeah, Devin, the screen is beautiful, but I think you and I both could have scored on that because of Vaughn and Chambers, what they were doing. They're both in the end zone as well. They took care of everything. I mean, the play action takes care of, 9 of the guys. There's 2 guys you had to beat, but they were taken care of by Vaughn and Chambers that had no business. Nobody was going to make that play. Great play call from Coach Mitch Gebhardt.
Stack of 3 receivers to the left-hand side. They will run it that way. Gebhardt stretching it out, finds a seam, plants it, cuts back up, and he's going to score. It's another 8-point trip by Southeast of Saline. And with 11 and a half minutes left to go here in the second quarter, they have stretched their lead to 30-0. Trojan football here on KINA.
The recent storm could have done a real number on your roof, but how would you know? Is your home vulnerable to future damage? Call Bryson Flax at Ryan Roofing today. An in-person roof inspection is necessary to evaluate damage. Rely on Bryson to perform a free roof assessment. Inspect, assess, and resolve. Protect your home and make sure your insurance policy provides the coverage you deserve. Roofs, windows, siding, and gutters on your home or business. Call Bryson Flax at Ryan Roofing, always supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football.
Back here in the second quarter, that's presented by Asteria Oil and Hardware. And boy, the Trojans doing damage here early on. They have already scored 16 points here, and it's still 11:32 left to go here in the second quarter. The last one was a Tiernan Potacek pass for a touchdown, his second passing touchdown of the day, as Adam Teal ready to kick this football away. Southwestern Heights will take it back at the 19-yard line. They'll return it just past the 30 to the 31.
Devin, I think we're starting to see this offense gain identity with Tiernan Potachik back there, right? Like, we understand you're not going to see as many verticals. You're not going to see as many things going downfield. But Tiernan gives you so many things. You have to respect his run game, and that's what defenses are doing. All of a sudden, he drops back. You see some misdirection. So good at the screen game. He's so precise. I mean, this is a guy that, you know, he gets on the bump. He's your game one starter in a regional as a baseball pitcher. I mean, he can do so many things. He's a guy you rely on. He's hitting the spots, and you can't run a screen game unless you have balls put on the spot like he's doing.
Screen pass out left-hand side. Big hit, Malachi Hopkins. Bryson Lippold is there to help out as Malachi came spinning in and went to the ground, but it's still a beautiful play by Hopkins and Lippold out here on the near side. It holds the Mustangs to 1.
Yeah, you can almost feel like these defensive backs, they don't like to stay clean, right? We know we're playing on turf, and we talk about how dirty all these guys end up getting somehow playing on turf. But Malachi Hopkins is a dog. Like, he wants to get dirty. He's going to lay hits. He's going to do whatever he can. You saw him right there. He saw that little bubble his way. He attacked it. Great job. 1-yard game for the Mustangs.
At the 32-yard line, 2nd down and 9 for Southwestern Heights. They have 2 receivers off to the right-hand side, also 2 to the left on the short side of the field. Here's Mercado. A floater out to the right. It's going to be out of bounds. Bramblett and Douglas, the 2 Trojans, in coverage of that incomplete pass.
Yeah, that's a dangerous pass. You start throwing that deeper out right there, and you saw Bramblett had a beat on it. If that ball's anywhere catchable, Bramblett's taking that thing, and he's gonna house it. But right there, you saw great coverage underneath and over top. So underneath from Douglas, over top from Bramblett. It's a really difficult pass to complete for Southwestern Heights.
3rd down and 9, ball sitting at the 32-yard line. Mustangs will dispatch 3 wide receivers to the right-hand side. 1 to the left. Mercado under pressure. Slips it underneath. It's going to be a running catch, and then driving him back is Kenyon Douglas. The catch by Manny Mendoza will get a forward progress spot to the 34-yard line. It will only go for 2 yards, and then Kenyon Douglas escorted him out of bounds on the far side.
Well, and Devin, you alluded to this earlier. Omar Mercado, he has open receivers, but he's always on his back foot, and that's because he doesn't have time. If he just steps up into that, and you make that throw where your receiver's catching that ball, catching it and able to, make a turn, make a cut, as opposed to coming to the football, it's going to change your offense. But right now, it's the defensive front from Southeast that's just making it so difficult for Mercado.
Xavier Del Torre in punt formation. He has Holub and Hopkins back deep. He'll put his foot into it. This is going to be a quick punt that gets into Hopkins' hands at the 33-yard line. Angling right, blockers out in front to the 40, 50, 40, back down to the 30, and Hopkins taken out of bounds inside of the 30-yard line. They will spot him at the 27-yard line. A big return there by Malachi Hopkins, and now we have seen both Hopkins and Holub make a big play in special teams.
And those line drive kicks are just so dangerous from a punt team, because all of a sudden you're punting the ball 30, 40 yards, and you don't give your defense time to get down there. And then all of a sudden,
can I give you a nugget right now that I realized today?
Please do.
Southeast doesn't have a special teams touchdown yet this year.
I remember you saying that week 2 or 3. Yes.
2, yeah.
And I'm assuming they know that as well.
Mm-hmm. First down at the 27-yard line. Short field once again for the Trojans. Here's the handoff. Grady Gebhardt shakes off a would-be tackler. Bounces at the outside. 15-10. Takes on a Mustang. Down to the 2, maybe down to the 1. They're going to say 2-yard line for Grady Gebhardt on a carry of 25 yards. Unofficially, double G right now, the 124 yards rushing.
Just stereotypical Southeast football right there. You get the football back, good field position, give it to G.
Back to Gebhardt, delayed handoff, and he walks this one in. Blocking up front, superb. They didn't even have Weller or Chambers in there, so give a call to the guys that were operating on that line. Once again, it was Garrett Kuhn, Tristan Swank, also Killian Vaughn. Running off the field, Elijah Kerr was out there, along with Ryan Weller. Those guys were the guys up front that Gebhardt was able to walk that football, literally walk the football across the goal line.
And he gets upset when he has to do that. He wants to meet somebody at the goal line, but there was nobody there. That offensive line did their job. Nobody meet for Grady Gebhardt.
Gebhardt with 3 touchdowns already, 2 on the ground, 1 in the air. Here's a pitch out to Gebhardt. Kind of an unorthodox play, and Grady's going to take this one in for 2. 9:28 left to go in this second quarter. That's presented by Asteria Oil and Hardware, and the Trojans going to work 38-0.
here in the second quarter. Southeast of Saline comfortably out in front here on KINA.
Kickoff Auto and Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Kickoff Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Kickoff Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Kickoff Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Football.
Back here on KINA, Trojan football with you all through the postseason. As long as that will go with the Southeast of Saline Trojans, also live stream video on SalinaPost.com. It's all presented tonight by our friends at Everhart Precision Ag. I want to thank them and all the sponsors jumping on board all season long, helping us bring you Trojan sports here on Eagle Media. Malachi Hopkins ready to kick this one away. It's been a combination of him and Adam Teal tonight. 9:28 left to go. Southeast of Saline leads it 38-0. Here's Hopkins. It's a high end-over-end kick taken by the Mustangs at the 17-yard line. And again, they will bring it out here between the 25 and the 30-yard line in a big scrum of tacklers that time, led by Tyler Bramblett. Also in there's Josh Watkins, who is flexing his muscle on special teams play tonight.
Devin, talking about Southwestern Heights, Manuel Sato right there with the kick reception. That's a number 55. You don't want number 55s catching kickoffs, kicking kickoffs. But he caught it, nice hands, and just a sophomore. Like, he's not scared. He runs right up the middle. Like, let's give props to the Southwestern Heights team. I mean, this is 16 seed. And we understand, the 16 versus the 1, it's difficult, and we understand the score's 38-0. I'm impressed with this team right now.
He gets done kicking or having kick returns, Manuel Soto does, and then he goes and he plays center. Yeah. So, I mean, that's why not, right? Here's a pass over on the edge, picked off Kenyon Douglas. Katie has it, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Southeast of Saline. Kenyon Douglas read that one like a book, and he is able to take it back for a touchdown on a pick six.
Yeah, it looked like quarterback right there. Omar Mercado and Jesus Sato were not on the same page. It looked like Sato, the wide receiver, is running out and go. Mercado was trying to throw him the ball on the out. All of a sudden, the go wasn't there, but Kenyon Douglas saw the entire thing for a pick six. Trojans now at 44-0. Going to the swinging gate again for the 2-point conversion.
Good to have Douglas back out there. He's feeling much better. Remember, he sustained a leg injury about 3 weeks ago. Douglas will be the snapper here on this 2-point conversion swinging gate, loaded to the right. Puts it back to Tiernan Potacek. He's going to roll out back of the end zone. Malachi Hopkins, pitch, catch, good. Another 2-pointer by Southeast of Saline. They put 15 seconds between those last two touchdowns, and Southeast of Saline leads it 46-0 as we will keep it right here as you listen to Trojan football on KINA. Boy, what an explosion here, Tyler, in this second quarter. We've seen a couple of these this year. We saw a 32-point quarter. We saw a 37-point quarter by Southeast of Saline, and boy, they are pouring it on right here. They already have 32 points in this second period alone.
One, Devin, I can already sense the social media posts, like, why is the team going for 2? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? You're up 46-0. You have the lead. Southeast of Saline is working. Like, you don't get practice like this Monday through Thursday. We talk about this all the time. Like, you cannot simulate game opportunities like this. You know why you run swing gate? You know why you run 2-point conversions like they do? Because teams have to practice that. That takes 10, 15, 20 minutes out of another team's practice. That destroys other teams' practice schedules. It's exactly what Coach Mitchart does. Gebhardt does it, and it's exactly what the success that Southeast has had.
Adam Teal with the kickoff. He's back in there. He's going to put the ball up in the air, taken back at the 14-yard line. Return angling off now to the right-hand side, and a tackle in open field by Southeast of Saline's Jaden Kloster. What an open field tackle that was by Kloster, who was able to keep Southwestern Heights back inside of the 20-yard line. I'll tell you the other reason, too. In Southeast of Saline's mind right now, as they're going through and they're showing formations and working on different things, there's still 4.5 games left.
Without a doubt. And that's what, again, a lot of people just look at it week by week by week. There's still a third of the season left for these guys if they do what they believe they can do. One more at a time.
Southwestern Heights back at their own 17-yard line. 9:07 left to go. They'll put a man in motion going from left to right. Little fake of a screenplay out there. They're going to slip the handoff inside. That's a crafty play, and it will end up in the belly that time of Xavier Del Torre And Torrey comes out all the way to the 27-yard line. It was a gain of 10 on that little trickeration play.
Yeah, again, we talk about J.R. Mendoza, the head coach. Like I like what he's pulling out. There's not a lot of risk for the reward right there. You fake the bubble to the right side. All of a sudden, that little slip handoff screen with that inside receiver. I like that. It's a little. The reward is much bigger than the risk, and you give yourself a first down. You move the chains, and you continue to fight for more yards on this drive.
Ball sitting at the 27-yard line. 8:39 left to go here before halftime. First down and 10 after the chain mover that last time by Del Torre. Little inside handoff. That's not fooling anyone. As Southeast of Saline says, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. And it's going to be Killian Vaughn, or you know how that goes. It's backwards, I said it, but Killian Vaughn with the big tackle.
Well, and here's where it gets difficult right there. Like Killian Vaughn is a linebacker. All of a sudden with this formation, you have 5, so you have 4 wide with the tight end. Vaughn's going to come down. He's going to play in that outside line, that defensive end position. All of a sudden he sees that person leave. He goes, he fills the spot. Big time tackle from Killian Vaughn.
Wonder if he's told anybody his dad was a Mustang yet.
And a stud Mustang, from what I understand.
Can't imagine. Cannot imagine. I wouldn't expect anything less. Here's a screen play out to Del Torre. He is blown up at the 20 by Kenyon Douglas. As now Southeast of Saline showing off a little bit here on defense as they keep pushing the Mustangs backwards. That one back to the 22-yard line.
And, Devin, this defense, we haven't seen it needed, but how much different is this defense with a healthy Kenyon Douglas? I mean, he can do it all. He can cover an outside receiver when they go trips. He can cover a lone receiver. He can also come in and do things. Right there just blows up the play. Kenyon Douglas is everywhere.
Timeout on the field. We will keep it right here in this second period that's brought to you by Aceria Oil and Hardware. Want to remind you that here at home, when you have the home field advantage, it's not only about where you play, it's also about products by Sage Products. From ceiling to floor, from wall to wall, when you go to the bathroom or other areas in the school, you can see there are Sage products all over the building here at Southeast of Saline, giving you the home field advantage. You can have the same products in your home or office by going to sageselects.com. I want to thank Gabe and the family over at Sage Products. Also want to thank Aceria Oil and Hardware in Trojan Country. You need to be ready to follow the students wherever they compete. Whether it's here at home or on the road in Lawrence with cross country coming up on Saturday, get road ready at Aceria Oil and Hardware with new tires, fuel, and snacks for the road or the postgame celebration. The Blakes are purple and white for life and wish the coaches and players the best they have as they start their postseason run back to the championship. As always, Aceria Oil and Hardware says go Trojans. Here's a pass out to the left-hand side. It's going to be picked. Malachi Hopkins takes his 4th interception. He's at the 30, at the 20, at the 10 with an escort. And Malachi Hopkins all the way into the end zone. It's the second pick 6 of this quarter for Southeast of Saline. This one belongs to Malachi Hopkins.
Yeah, and again, you just saw it looked like a post corner they were trying to run from Southwestern Heights. Malachi he read it before Sasato, the wide receiver, read it. Mercado throws the ball despite Sasato not being on the same page. It was just an easy pick 6. And then I think here's what you love to see. As soon as that ball was picked, you saw just a barrage of Trojans looking to just find Mustangs to block to give them an easy path to the end zone.
Extra point kick in the second quarter will be attempted. Adam Teal will kick out of the hold of Tiernan Potocik. Lyric Lilly, the center, on the long snap here. Snap is back. Potocik puts it down. The kick is up, and I think they're getting better at this, right? 3rd one of the season as Adam Teal punches it through on the extra point. We'll step away with 7:15 left to go here under a half moon on Steve Fritz Field, 53-0. Southeast of Saline's Trojans lead it here on KINA.
Visit Suburban Appliance Center to see the Whirlpool washer with 2 ways to wash. This is the 2-in-1 removable agitator. This Whirlpool washer has flexible capacity. You can take the agitator out for bulky loads or keep it in for items of smaller loads. This opens up space in the wash tub and allows you to wash bulky items like comforters with no problems. Shop at Suburban Appliance Center and get twice the washer you have at home. Suburban Appliance Center. Quality service with every purchase. Located on South 9th next to Genesis Health Clubs.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Live stream video from SalinaPost.com. Everhart Precision Ag helping make that happen, as you can watch Southeast of Saline Trojan Sports
live or on demand. If you happen to miss a game, you had to be out tonight, couldn't make a rare Thursday game here at Steve Fritz Field, you can watch it anytime you want on YouTube at Real Salina Post. Malachi Hopkins with the hand in the air, ready to kick this one away. So he will angle it off to the right-hand side. Again, there's Soto doubling as a returner and a center, and Tyson Keller will take him on. Salute to Tyson Keller on that play as Keller able to make the tackle. He sticks his nose in there on the big guy.
Yeah, Keller's got a little bit nasty in him. We talk about him a lot on special teams. I watch him walking around in school like he's built for Friday nights. Like this, Keller's going to be a name that we talk about. Shoot, we still got 4.5 games left this year. We're going to talk about them because special teams. You talk about that third level of this game. But holy moly, he just loves contact.
They only list Manuel Soto at 178 pounds. I'm not buying that.
And he moves well.
Yeah, absolutely. First down and 10. Here they're going to sneak the handoff inside, and not buying that fake is Tristan Swank. It's another TFL on the season for Swank. That is number 8 for Tristan here in his sophomore season.
Yeah, again, Swank is nasty. Only a sophomore. I mean, this is going to be a guy that's going to he's going to garner a lot of attention, not only this year, but next year and his senior year. Like, this is going to be a guy that you're going to watch play on Saturdays at some point. I mean, he's already got the size. He's just going to build on that. He does everything right in that interior defense spot, and he's learning from Brody Chambers. Like, you can't learn from a better person than Brody Chambers.
2 down linemen this time for Southeast, with Weller standing up at the linebacking core. And they're going to swarm to the football and take it out of bounds over here at the 30-yard line.
Devin, it's Amarian Hollab right there. Amarian Hollab saw that motion right there, and he did not stop. I mean, he sprinted from that backside position, just comes up, makes a huge tackle. It's inside hip. Like, it's everything that you want. If you're Tom Mansky from a football side, and heck, I don't know how many people know Tom Mansky is if they, were watching cable television back in our day. But that was just so fundamental from Amarian Hollab, just blowing that play up.
Again, the formation, Weller took a step back. They only had 2 defensive linemen down with their hand on the ground that time. This time they go back to the regular 3. But Weller that time came from right up the middle. Here's Kenyon Douglas coming in for a potential quarterback sack, and the quarterback has to throw this one away. This may be intentional grounding as Douglas and the quarterback, Omar Mercado, were all the way back inside the 15-yard line at about the 10, and that ball didn't come back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be a big play loss for Southwestern Heights, and might as well give another sack to Kenyon Douglas, who came into this game with 10 tackles for loss on the season.
Yeah, he's just a torpedo. And right there he saw his responsibility. He had quarterback because nobody else was coming into his zone, so he goes. Again, we talk about drip, with these kids. We talk about, like, it looks like Killian Vaughn could be wearing, neck roll, blah, blah. Kenyon Douglas, nothing. No tape, nothing on anything, no gloves, just a football dude.
4th down, Mustangs.
So the ball will be moved back to the 25. It's also a loss of down. 4th down and 14 here coming up. Here's a bad snap. It goes over the head of the snapper. Able to run it down and then throw a pass out that's complete. Southwestern Heights might be working with something here as they get ran out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Way to regroup that time if you're southeast of Saline. Give credit to both teams, really, because Southwestern Heights, that could have been a fire drill, but they're able to come back out, make a pass out to the right-hand side. Jackson Stanfield out there catching the pass from Del Torre, and he was able to threaten a first down on that play.
Yeah, Devin, most of the time when you see a play like that happen, you have ineligible receivers downfield because your offensive line is firing off. They're going to make a tackle. They stayed back. There must have been a fire call. You're exactly right. They stayed back. There was no ineligible receivers right there. If it wasn't such a big mountain to climb, they might have got the first down there.
I believe it was Tyler Bramble at that time that made the tackle for southeast of Saline. Here's the end around of Marion Hollab. He's following Grady Gebhardt through the hole. Now puts a stiff arm down, and Hollab all the way to the 26-yard line. It's a gain of 11 in the end-around rushing game for Marion.
Yeah, just a great play design. Anytime you get a Mari on the ball, you're in a good place. But Hayes Cicero from Southwestern Heights is on a lot of big tackles. Only a freshman. This kid he's running around. He's doing a lot of things. He's made a lot of tackles. If you're watching on the Salina Post at home, this kid is involved in everything. Only a freshman.
26-yard line is the line of scrimmage. First down, southeast of Saline. 3 wide receivers, left-hand side. Here's LaVon Hopkins into the game. He's going to take it out left-hand side and bring it to the 22-yard line on a gain of 4. LaVon's first carry of the night.
On the carry for Southeast.
Yeah, we see Hopkins. We see Burks in the game. I mean, we're making sure we keep everybody healthy. You know, we're making sure that, you know, you get your guys, and they don't want to rest, but you got you got Burton Brooks in at quarterback right now.
Keller in motion. They fake it to him. Brooks straight ahead, breaks 1 tackle, then leans on a Mustang, and he'll make it down to the 17-yard line. Gain of 5 by Burton Brooks.
And again, this goes back to Mitch Gebhardt's philosophy. We talked about when Gannon Jacobson went down, he said it's not a big deal. Him and Potocik split reps. I'm assuming Potocik now and Brooks are splitting reps as well.
Hopkins directly behind Brooks here in the shotgun. LaVon Hopkins, a junior. Brooks, a freshman. In turn, hand it off on a little bit of a delay there to LaVon Hopkins. He will threaten the 10-yard line. Gain of 5 on that play for LaVon Hopkins, who comes into this game 220 yards rushing and a touchdown on the season.
Yeah, and you're seeing Elijah Kerr that right now just getting to that next level. He's making sure he takes care of his defensive line, opportunity, and making sure that that's taken care of. He's getting up to the linebacker, and that's springing that run, getting yourself first down for Southeast of Saline.
4 minutes left to play. Southeast of Saline up big. Burton Brooks, the 150-pound freshman, in there at quarterback. Shotgun snap. He's running a sweep to the right-hand side, runs into a Mustang, trying to get around him, and he does, but then drops the football. It's going to be recovered by Southeast of Saline. Out here on the edges, looks like Tyler Bramblett will cover it up. Been calling his name a lot tonight in a good way. And that will be a 2-yard gain for Southeast of Saline.
Yeah, that was freshman on freshman love right there. Xavier Del Torre, the freshman from Southwestern Heights. He comes with the big blow initially, and then it looks like he might have got called for a face mask. They're going to wave it off, but he's trying to rip the football. You like to see that. This young team, they've got some pieces.
2nd down and 8 from the 10 for Southeast of Saline. Back to Hopkins, and he is hit early and will not make it back to the line of scrimmage, losing a yard. You ask yourself, do I like Friday? Do I like Thursday night games? Well, I'll tell you one reason I like Thursday games is because we get to talk to Wade Castleman live in the flesh tonight. He is going to join us coming up at halftime. We'll be talking about a very important part of the season for Southeast of Saline cross country. That is coming up this weekend as Wade Castleman and the cross country team will be going to Lawrence to run at the 3A state cross country tournament. Brooks back to pass, little pump and go, going back to the back corner of the end zone. Adam Teal is the target, and that will be incomplete. So Brooks taking a shot there to the back of the end zone, incomplete. His first pass attempt of the night, and that will bring up 4th down and 9 for Southeast of Saline with the ball at the 11-yard line. 2:53 left to play here on a Thursday. We might be seeing a field goal attempt here.
Number 14,
Potocik's going to put it down.
Attempt the 28-yard field goal
At the 18-yard line. 29-yard attempt. Potocik with it down, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. No, it's not. Tyler, talk to me on that.
Devin, great call from the officials. Just slid to the right. Okay. On my way down, talked to Principal Nick Owen, who says that you might be witnessing history right here. This is the first attempted field goal in his tenure. But this is something you want to continue to try, right? Like, you never know. If things are working the way you want them to work, there might be a field goal opportunity at some point that's going to, decide a game. And you can only get better at things if you work at them right there. That ball just slid a little bit to the right. Continue to work on it.
Have a consultation with my eye doctor coming up next week after that one. 2:47 left to go. 53-0 is our score. We will get comments from Mitch Gebhardt coming up at the half before he goes to the locker room. We will also check scores from around the area. There is a good handful of Thursday night games tonight. We'll have stats from the first half as well. And then after the first break, of course, we will have Wade Castleman join us talking Southeast of Saline cross country. Still 2:47 left to go here in the first half. 53-0, Southeast of Saline. First man through on the handoff
And a couple of yards on first down there for Southwestern Heights. Give on that play went to Xavier Del Torre.
Yeah, and again, it's no surprise. It's down here on the field. It looks exactly like we saw things from up there. There's no room down here. I mean, this defensive line is just crushing everything, right? So when you're playing with this three-man front, you don't have outside edge guys, so you're just collapsing everything on the inside. There's nowhere to run in between tackles.
Tyson Keller into the game. He is going to force the ball carrier, Del Torre, back inside where he is swallowed up by Killian Vaughn. Tyson Keller stayed with that play as well. And also in there, Josh Watkins in there to make the tackle for Southeast.
Yeah.
That was a nice play by Keller.
Yeah, without a doubt. And we talk about angles and leverage, and right there, that's what Keller did. He gets that outside angle and makes sure there's no way that the runner is going to come through him, force him back to the inside. So instead of going inside, the Southwestern Heights receiver actually lateral, so the ball carrier is coming back to the middle. You can't come back to the middle against this, especially with Swank and Kerr and Chambers. Like, that's not a good decision.
That'll put the football back at the 19-yard line where it's 3rd down and 11 after a loss of 3. 5 wide receivers, one of them in motion. They'll end up with 3 on the left-hand side. Mercado scrambling back to the 5-yard line. He's going to airmail it to the far sideline. It's incomplete, out of bounds.
Yeah, right there, headsy play right there from Mercado. Just get rid of the ball. Great catch from Zach Brown on the side. The chain gang right there, former Garden City star, making the catch. I don't know what he's doing on the chain gang. He's not really holding anything, so he was able to get the ball back in. But Mercado right there doesn't take the sack, gets rid of the football. Problem is, minute 22 still left for Southeast of Saline.
He's an alternate and also the primary football catcher.
Yes.
Halbert and also Hopkins back deep here, about midfield. Another mistake in the special teams game for the Mustangs. Friesen and Lilly back there putting pressure on Southwestern Heights as they were trying to punt that time. Del Torre had trouble with the snap that came back that wasn't that great, and he just went down. Southeast is going to have this football at the 6-yard line with a very short field in front of them.
Yeah, Devin, it's just that constant pressure, right? You continue to make teams punt. You continue to do things like this. It gets difficult every once in a while, and right there you just saw another high snap, and now Southeast is going to benefit from it.
Still 1:20 left to go here in the second quarter. Brooks to Hopkins. Levon Hopkins, right-hand side, touchdown, Southeast. From 6 yards away, Levon Hopkins has scored his second touchdown of the season.
And Devin, there's nobody more excited than the sideline right now. Like you would think the score was 0-0 when Hopkins went in right there. Like they're amped. They love to see their guys succeed, and that's the greatest thing. That's culture, right? Like it doesn't matter who's doing it, as long as they're in purple. You want to see them do well.
It's another one-play drive for Southeast of Saline as Levon Hopkins gets his second touchdown of the season. That one came from 6 yards away. Extra point pending on the kick. Teal again will kick it out of the hold of Tiernan Potacek. The kick is up, and this one is good. It's another extra point for Southeast of Saline as they have 60 on the board with 1:15 left to go here in the second quarter. Presented by Assyria Oil and Hardware, Southeast of Saline up big. We'll take a 30-second timeout here on KINA.
It's natural to think that insurance is complicated, but at Farmers Agency, we know a thing or two about helping to make it easier by explaining your available coverage options. And with over 25 years of experience in insurance, we can help you through the process step by step. Call Kniper Agency at 825-8419 to learn more today.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football.
Back here at Steve Fritz Field, Southeast of Saline up big, 60-0 here on KINA. Live stream video, of course, on SalinaPost.com, presented by Everhart Precision Ag. Levon Hopkins, the latest to score a touchdown for the Trojans.
Devin, a little interesting tidbit from down here. Watching Hopkins and Teal try to figure out who's kicking next is starting to get difficult. They can't remember who kicked last, but they're alternating as they should.
This is Teal on a line drive kick. It's a nice return here for Southwestern Heights for Jackson Stanfield, and he's going to bring it back to the 30-yard line. 1:09 left to play here in this first half. Boy, it's the second quarter. The Southeast of Saline has just dominated, and it was a 14-0 game at the end of one. But this second quarter has been nothing but a Trojan domination.
Yeah, it really has. And that's, you talk about 14. Again, going back to this 1 verse 16, you want to establish what you're going to do. But you're doing what you want to do well, and then all of a sudden the floodgates just open because you continue to do that. All of a sudden, if you're Southwestern Knights, you can't stop the inside run game. So what happens? You panic a little bit, and all of a sudden your offense isn't doing as well, and you're seeing a lot of defense. You're seeing touchdowns created by the defense and special teams.
5 wide receivers this time for Southwestern Heights. They put it out to the right-hand side. It is caught for a gain of 4. Quick tackle on the play by Tyler Bramblett. First catch by Hayes Saucedo in this game. Longest passing play for Southwestern Heights, 13 yards. That's the only one in double digits. The rest of them have been around 5 or 4 yards. Nose of the football here, setting at the 35-yard line. Second down and 6. Mustangs with 3 wide receivers on the right. Saucedo's under pressure, gets away, but then goes down as the first 2 guys on the play for Southeast of Saline, Tyson Keller along with Jaden Kloster. And another quarterback sack for Southeast of Saline's defense.
Yeah, Kloster and Keller both just unabated. I mean, nobody was there. They're coming hard. They understand. So that short pass game, if you don't establish a long pass game, that means you can bring those backers, you can bring people, because you know that nobody's going to stretch you deep defensively, and your defensive backs can handle everything else.
Loss of 4 on that play goes back to the original line of scrimmage, and that will do it for the first half of action. A dominant quarter in a second quarter presented by Asaria Oil and Hardware. 46 points scored by Southeast of Saline in that quarter. They will take a 60-0 lead into the locker room at halftime. We're awaiting comments of head coach Mitch Gebhardt. Tiernan Potacek throwing the football, started out 0-2, but ended the first half 5 of 7, 2 passing touchdowns. Tiernan also had a rushing touchdown. Grady Gebhardt with 3 touchdowns in the first half. He has 2 rushing touchdowns and a receiving touchdown. Amarion Hollab also with a receiving touchdown. As we'll go over all those stats coming up at halftime here. Here's a conversation with Coach Gebb.
Coach Gebhardt, up 60-0 at halftime, but 42-0 in the second half, or second quarter, sorry. I mean, it looked like things changed. Could you just talk about what changed in that second quarter for you guys?
Well, I really felt like we came out and played well to start with, too. We just didn't get the ball in the end zone as much in the first quarter, but we set ourselves up for the second quarter so that we scored early in that. And I really feel like our kids played on fire in the second quarter.
Well, and we talked about the Southwestern Heights team, despite their record. I mean, there's some athletes over there. And defensively and offensively, your edge players, especially defensively, really shut them down. You've shut out that edge game. You've made sure they've had to run things in the middle, and that's where you guys really thrive on. Just allude to, what those edge players have done to eliminate that play.
Well, and I feel like they thought before the game started they couldn't run it up the middle, so they were going to try to get it to the outside. But our guys are pretty good on the outside. I mean, our outside linebackers, our corners, our safeties running downhill do a nice job of taking care of that. We've got good team speed, so it's hard to get outside on us.
Yeah, it really is. Have an enjoyable, warm yourself up a little bit at halftime. We'll see you for the second half. Thank you, Coach.
Coach Gebhardt on the field with Tyler Smith. We'll take a break. When we come back on the Knauf Auto and Truck Accessories halftime report, we'll have a conversation about Southeast of Saline cross country. They have the biggest weekend of the season coming up. We'll talk about it with Wade Castle when we come back. Trojans lead it here at halftime, 60-0 on KINA.
It is third down and 8 for the Trojans. They really need to make the right call here.
During the football game, it's crucial to make the right call. And in real estate, one call can bring a positive outcome from your real estate experience. Whether you're looking for real property, upsizing to make room for the family, downsizing, or acquiring investment property, call Winnell Garrettson at SalinaHomes.com.
What a call! Touchdown, Trojans!
Buy or sell, call Winnell.
New Image is offering ceramic tint. If you are sending your child off to school or your wife on a road trip, ceramic tint offers heat rejection up to 90%, privacy in a college town or in the city, and it helps keep wear down on the AC system, making the car easier to cool down. Never worry about you or your kid locking their keys in the car. With Drone Mobile, you can unlock their car for them from anywhere. Vehicle breakdown in an unknown area, GPS locating helps roadside services find you and loved one quickly with the ability to send the vehicle location directly to the rescue squad. New Image Audio, your official tinting establishment for over 14 years, located at 340 South Broadway in Salina. Phone calls are welcome.
When the time comes to honor a life, Hire Scott Mortuary in Salina is here with care, compassion, and guidance every step of the way. Celebrate memories, cherish family, and find comfort in tradition. Hire Scott Mortuary, celebrating life, embracing legacy.
In the trenches and on the ground, that's where the game is won. Isaacson Truck Line is a proud supporter of the Southeast of Saline Trojans. For local and long-haul service of freight and livestock, call Isaacson Truck Line, reminding you to have a safe Friday night on the roads. Wreak havoc, Trojans.
Kickoff Auto and Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Kickoff Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Kickoff Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Kickoff Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
This is the Trojan Halftime Report. Coming up, a first half recap, stats, interviews, and a look at other area games. Let's head back to the stadium for Trojan Halftime on KINA.
Back here on the Halftime Report, Southeast of Saline leads this first round playoff game. What Keisha affectionately calls Week 9. We don't have a clever name for it yet. We just call it Week 9. It's 60-0 here at halftime. Southeast of Saline with a big 46-point second quarter. Time now to shift our focus to the runners from Southeast of Saline, their biggest weekend of the season coming up in Lawrence. But first we'll look back to a big regional matchup in Wichita with Wade Castleman. Coach, the weather was not for the faint of heart. When you went running in Wichita last weekend, it was really kind of fall temperatures for the first time, mixed in with some rain and some mud. And we made the joke Friday night talking about maybe going to have a mud run. Well, that's exactly what happened. First of all, let's start with the conditions that not only your kids had to go through, but everybody went through over the weekend running cross country.
You know, that I've been associated with cross country for a very long time, and I have never seen course conditions as bad as last week. The course was torn up before we even started a race, and it was raining the whole time we were there. The kids just grasped it, though, and, you know, they knew in order to move on, we needed to take care of business no matter what the weather was like, and they responded very well, I thought.
You told me before on Friday night when we were chatting that it's something that your kids kind of embrace a little bit. It's different. It's, you know, some people don't like it, but it's definitely a spot where you can make up some time on the people that aren't fond of that type of condition, right? I mean, you excel in that.
Exactly. And, you know, the kids, they just went out and took care of business. You know, we knew that times weren't going to be fast. You know, Braden Walker's time is about where our fifth or sixth runner's time usually is. And so, but they just ran a controlled race, and we were keying on Wichita Trinity because we knew that was the team that we needed to really focus on. And the kids did a great job of, you know, staying ahead of their runners and splitting them up because they're a very good team. Their time gap usually between their first and fifth runners less than a minute, and so we knew that was important, and the kids went out there and took care of that.
Let's start with the results for your girls. Again, this is a team with no seniors, and I had a couple people ask me, you know, well, Southeast didn't get the girls into state, did they? Well, yes, you did, so kind of clarify that and how that's going to work for this weekend at Rimrock.
Right, so we did not qualify as a team, but we had 3 girls that were in the top 15. So those 3 girls, Piper Brown, Ava McGraw, and Anna Jackson, qualify as individuals. They won't have a team score at state, but they, you know, still are competing for all state honors, which is top 20, I believe. And so, you know, they're looking forward to it. They've had a great season, and I look forward to them capping off this season.
Another really good performance for your boys in Wichita last weekend. Talk about their performance.
So, yeah, we were led by Braden Walker, and he's been our number 1 runner all season long, and Jacob Bircher's been number 2. Edgar Calzada, who's usually been our number 5 runner ended up being our number 3 runner. He really embraced the nasty weather, and he just had a lot of fun. And he's been fun to watch this season. He's come a long way for never running cross country before. And so he has no excuses come track season when he says, I can't run a 400. That's too far. Well, you've run a 5K, so we know you can run a 400 now.
Oh, that's great. So you guys get to go to Rimrock now. Obviously, it's a course that you are, by design, on purpose, familiar with. You always put yourself in a position to where you get a regular season meet there. Often you get to go run against some different, bigger schools, but it's the course that you're going to get familiar with. That way, when you get off the bus on Saturday, you don't have kids looking at something that's totally new to them. Talk about the course in general. It looks like the weather will be much better on Saturday than what it was last weekend in Lawrence. And also talk about your competition coming up this weekend.
Yeah, so we're actually leaving tomorrow before lunch to head up there. KU is hosting the Big 12 Conference Championship tomorrow. So we'll get there right as that's ending. We'll run the course tomorrow, get our team camp set up. So that kids can get really familiarized with the camp or with the course. I told the kids, look where, the sharp turns are. And so you know where all of those spots are on the course that could be tricky. And so then the boys are the first race on Saturday at 10 o'clock. Wichita Trinity, again, is going to be the team that, is going to push us to do our best. And, in order for us to accomplish what we want to accomplish, we know we got to beat them.
It seems like a marathon, so to speak. I mean, for lack of a better term. How many of those little nuances, though, like you're saying, just familiarity with the course, knowing turns, knowing where you can pick up some time, how much of a big deal is that for these kids just to have that plan going in?
It's really important because, it could be the difference between, placing, in the top 20 or not. It could be the difference of, us winning a state championship or, not. And, just knowing that, okay, at this spot on the course, we need to give it all we got, take advantage of the downhills, and work hard on the uphills.
Best of luck to you and all the kids. This will not be our last conversation. We'll talk again next Friday about all the great results from Lawrence and Rimrock this last Friday. I want to encourage everybody going out. You don't have to worry about getting up after football on Friday now and going to Lawrence. You have plenty of time, as you said, and if you want to watch some Big 12 cross country, you can do that as well. So best of luck to you guys. We'll talk to you next week, and I love your sweatshirt.
I love yours too. Thank you so much, Devin.
My sweatshirt twin, Wade Castleman, and the cross country coach for Southeast of Saline. Those kids will be for another state cross-country tournament that is coming up this weekend on Saturday. 60-0, halftime of the football game. 4:56 left to go here at halftime. We'll tack on 3 more. We have plenty of time before the third quarter here on KINA.
Lily Pad Septic, this is Callie, where we can get you a flush and a rush. How can we help you flush today?
Oh, it smells like something died out by my septic tank. It's bad.
Oh no, I know that smell you're talking about. Cole!
I smelt it from here.
Flush! The freakishly fast frog!
I'll follow the funk. It's not a dead animal, sir. It's your septic tank venting gases. Oof, she's full. Real full.
That's the smell.
I've got to get back and tell Callie. Callie, he needs a pump out, quick.
Already got a pump truck rolling.
If you need a flush and a rush, call Lily Pad Septic.
We guarantee to inspect your septic issues within 24 hours.
Or you get a free septic tank pump out worth $399.
Lily Pad Septic.
We'll be there in a splash.
Callie, quick, kiss me. That stink stuck to my skin.
I don't know if I can.
Oh, good. I can smell other things again.
When crop and weather conditions are just right, you need to bale as much as you can, as fast as you can, all while putting up the highest quality product possible. Case IH round balers have the reputation as the hardest working balers in the business to consistently build dense bales with square shoulders that don't sag. No matter the crop or field condition, bale more with Case IH round balers. With easier maintenance and serviceability, you'll spend more time where it counts. In the field, baling hay. Ready to build a better bale? Contact Can Equip in Solomon.
When you're a working man with a job to do, you need a work boot that works as hard.
This is Jeff with Vanderbilt's in Salina. We have over 5,000 pairs of men's jeans and over 1,000 pair of ladies' jeans. From classic fits to the latest trends, we've got styles to fit every taste. Visit us today and find your perfect fit. And remember, at Vanderbilt's, a gift card is always the right size.
Your mailbox is stuffed full and the phone keeps ringing. There are even strangers knocking at your door. Open enrollment time for Medicare and prescription drug plans is here, and it brings all kinds of unsolicited activity. Call a local firm with people you know at L&L Advisors. Plans can change pretty drastically year to year, and the agents at L&L Advisors are happy to answer your questions, give advice, and make you feel at ease. With 2 locations in Salina on Road Street and Central Mall, and on South Main and McPherson. Built on honesty and trust, call L&L Advisors today.
Hey Trojans fans, this is Angela Gephardt, proud wife of Southeast Saline head coach Mitch Gephardt. Just like the Trojans strive for excellence on the field, the Bank of Tesket goes the extra mile to offer top-notch checking accounts that fit your style. Whether you're managing your day-to-day expenses or planning for the future, our checking accounts are easy, convenient, and tailored for you. Plus, with your local roots and friendly service, we're here to support you every step of the way. Go Trojans!
Bank of Tesket, member FDIC.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football.
Welcome back here on the Knauf Auto and Truck Accessories halftime report. Southwestern Knights and Southeast of Saline, first round of the Class 2A playoffs. Right now, it is 60-0. Southeast of Saline with a big 46-point second quarter. Why do we keep messing that up? It's Thursday. Let's go over stats from the first half, brought to you by the Bank of Tesket. We will not mess these up. Tiernan Potacek started out, as I said, 0-2, but ended up 5 out of 7, throwing 5 of 5 before getting his night cut short at quarterback. 77 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions for Tiernan Potacek tonight. He also had a touchdown on the ground, 2 carries, 16 yards. Potacek's favorite targets tonight: Malachi Hopkins, 13 yards. Grady Gebhardt, 37 yards and a touchdown. Amarion Holub, 2 catches, 23 yards and a touchdown. And Lyric Lilly, a catch for 4 yards. On the ground, Southeast of Saline, led by Grady Gebhardt, averaging 12.5 yards a carry. Grady, here at halftime, 10 carries, 126 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Also with a touchdown, Levon Hopkins on 4 carries, 14 yards. Tiernan Potacek scored. As I said, 2 carries, 16 yards. Amarion Holub had a carry, 11 yards. And Burton Brooks came in. I imagine he'll probably have more, but right now here at halftime, 2 carries for 7 yards. Southwestern Heights, -2 yards of rushing, 40 yards of passing, 10 of 15 for Omar Mercado. In those 40 yards, he's hit 5 different receivers, a total of 38 yards of offense for Southwestern Heights. Southeast of Saline, 174 rushing, 77 yards passing, a total of 251 here at the break, as Southeast of Saline leads at 60-0 here at halftime. Let's go over some scores for you on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard at halftime. Republic County leads Oakley 8-6. Axtell in 8-man. They're all over St. John's Tipton 50-0. That game is over. Hanover over Osborne 44-0. Almost all of the 6-man and 8-man teams are playing tonight. That's why we're having a flood of those. Smith Center is playing Remington tonight. That's 22-0. And that is about it right now on the score updates for you across the state of Kansas on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Once again, our score here, 60-0, Southeast of Saline leading. Chance to remind you, this presentation is brought to you in part by Kansas Bankers Technologies and Technical Consulting. They're your partners in secure banking technology and seamless IT solutions. Messenger Total Promotions, also the official outfitter of the Eagle Media broadcast crew. Whether it's Brian up on the top of the press box getting that live stream video, or me and Tyler in our comfortable new digs here at Southeast of Saline, it's gear from Messenger Total Promotions. You can see them in downtown Salina. They have logoed gear for whatever you're looking for. Any high school in the area. Also, Kansas Wesleyan University, they can even make things for you as well. If you need a Trojan license plate for your car or something like that, see Messenger Total Promotions, downtown Salina on Santa Fe. Well, what do you think here, Tyler? What's the vibe you got down on the field when you were talking to Coach Gebhardt and just kind of being down there at 60-0 at halftime? It's a 1-16 matchup, as you said. I think regardless of the score and what the scoreboard might say, I think there's been a level of respect that has built for Southwestern Heights. You always respect everybody when you come into a game, but I think the way we've seen this team compete and how they go about their business, I think that respect has built through this game. I don't have anything really bad to say about them, and it's kind of the vibe you got on the field as well.
Yeah, it really is. This J.R. Mendoza-led team, talking to the chain gang. These chain gang, there's a group of guys that played some college football, and they speak so highly of Coach J.R. Mendoza, of his team. And you look at it, there weren't huge plays early on. We've seen this Southeast offense just explode. The tackling from Southwestern Heights has been really impressive. Like, it's been one guy, two guys, they're all then rallying around. I know the score is going to, tell a different story, but there's so much respect for the Southwestern Heights team. On the other side, if you're Southeast, you just keep doing what you're doing. I mean, we've seen the perimeter players fly around. This interior seven has just been so difficult to run against. It's a tough matchup. It's a tough night, but it's a tip of the cap to Southwestern Heights, and then Southeast is taking care of business and doing exactly what they need to do. This is what happens in these 1-16 matchups. But props to Southwestern Heights for showing up and doing their thing and playing their hearts out.
Another update for you: an 8-man Rule Vista tonight. Colony Crest, they're doing Battle and Hope 16-0. Rule Vista up in that game. A little resurgent by the Heat this year on the football field.
And we'll take it.
Yep.
I got some Hope family members.
Yeah, I imagine you do. Yeah.
Darn right. So, yeah, Rule Vista, let's go.
Here's the kickoff for Southwestern Heights, going in a soft spot of the field there. It's going to roll out of bounds and gives Southeast of Saline the possession here at the 35-yard line. So we'll get to see who comes out on offense here. Looks like it's going to be for Southeast of Saline. Hendricks Lund, he will be out there. Also, Burton Brooks still at quarterback. He'll have Levon Hopkins to hand the football to. Out wide for Southeast of Saline be Carson Berrigan. Also be Jaden Kloster. Over on the far side from the press box, I already touched on Hendricks Lund. James Friesen over there with him as well, and tight with this offensive line. Here's Brooks, turns, hands it off to Hopkins. Levon trying to bounce it out to the outside, steps through a tackle, takes on a linebacker, still spinning, and look out! Levon Hopkins across midfield, still stumbling somehow on his feet, and he's going to be brought down at the 42-yard line. What a play that was by Levon Hopkins, just keeping those feet moving.
Devin, everything after initial contact was Hopkins, but before that it was Ryan Weller. Ryan Weller's that pulling guard. He makes that initial contact, springs Hopkins free, and then it's just athleticism and it's just toughness and the unwillingness to come down from Hopkins, but all sprung from Weller.
All the way to the 37-yard line in Mustang territory. Here's Brooks throwing out left-hand side. Hendricks Lund has a first down, 23-yard line on a 14-yard gain. That time, Burks to Lund.
Yeah, and right there, Brooks, you're starting to see him come up in the pocket. It's always nerve-wracking. I mean, these are freshmen. These are guys that have played behind. He's played behind Jacobs, playing behind Potachik. Once he gets comfortable, you're going to start seeing this young man come out of his shell, and he showed it right there. That's a tough play. That's a little 5 to 7 yard out. Just threw it on an absolute dime.
At the 23-yard line, this play will be blown dead before it starts. Usually an indication that it's on the offense. Let's see here. Conversations of the official. Far side official coming in. It may be Friday Night Football before we get the call. They're sorting it out. There's something with Hendricks Lund. Doesn't that look like he was over there on that far side? And the official came up and said something to him, and now he is coming off the field. He's shaking his head. He doesn't know really what happened, it looks like. Coming in for him will be Jack Stein, freshman.
Illegal equipment on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Illegal what?
I heard illegal, and then everything kind of.
Huh.
Doug Sprecher, we couldn't hear him all the way up here.
5-yard penalty. This is going to be Brooks on the carry. Has a big one inside the 20, inside the 15, and brought down at the 14-yard line. There's a flag on the play, actually 2 of them on the play, but another really good carry by Southeast of Saline, but it's coming back. Hendricks Lund will come back into the game as well. I'm going to have to find out after the game what that was about. I don't understand that.
Yeah, but you saw right there. So we see Burton Brooks get the ball on the outside, and we see that his capabilities. We just saw him throw a nice little out pattern earlier. Now we see his run game. I mean, this is a freshman that can do a lot of things. But here's something right now, and this is what Coach Gebhardt will love. He wants to nitpick everything, and if you're not going to perform right here, you know, and this is difficult. You're now a freshman-led team. I mean, you have some upperclassmen with you, but you got to make sure you're making plays, getting angles, doing your correct, you know, assignments, making sure you're doing exactly what you've been taught. If not, the film will show.
This is why you have Brian Dennett on the roof. He's got some details for us. Here's a pitch out, left-hand side. Carry going that way to Christian Peterson. Peterson down the left-hand sideline, still wrecking Mustangs, and he is down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 19 yards. Over there on the left-hand sideline for freshman Christian Peterson.
Devin, are we just cloning guys? I mean, you watch the way he runs. He looks like Gebhardt. He looks like Holub. I mean, he just puts his head down. Peterson, great job just gaining yards right there.
Ball sitting at the 18-yard line. He got the penalty yards back and then some. Here's Brooks now on the read option. Starts out right, cuts it back to the middle, and he will take it down to the 10-yard line, and it's a first down for Southeast of Saline on the gain of 8 for Burton Brooks.
Yeah, and again, it's that offensive line just getting to that next level, making sure it's easy sledding beyond the trenches. You get past the trenches, then you just let your athletes eat, and that's a great job from the offensive line creating that space.
Just told that 5-yard penalty on Hendricks Lund a few plays ago was tabbed as illegal equipment. Whatever that could possibly mean. From the 10, here's a little shotgun handoff to Peterson. Peterson sidestepping traffic, looking for the goal line, and he has the goal line from 10 yards away. Christian Peterson with a touchdown.
And this is the fun thing about games like this, right? We're starting to learn. We've said these names. We've seen them on special teams. We've seen them do things. But now they're going to get a half. They're going to get a half with the running clock, nevertheless. But Christian Peterson, just a great job tucking that ball in that right arm, delivering blows as he's finding his way to the end zone. Anybody that wants to get in his way, he's going to run over him. Great touchdown by Christian Peterson.
2 carries, 29 yards, and a touchdown now for Christian Peterson. He's in the pistol right now behind Brooks. Burton Brooks is going to roll out, go to the back of the end zone, and it is caught. 2-point conversion is registered successfully for Southeast of Saline as Caden Peterson catches it at the back of the end zone. There is a flag on the play.
Yeah, and again, we just saw that rollout. We saw that normal 2-point conversion. The ineligible man that downfield, so it looks like an offensive lineman, went beyond that 1-yard window that they're allowed to go. So they're going to bring the ball back, but they're just going to continue to run it. The clock is going to continue to run. Looks like the clock stopped for that 2-point conversion. They're going to continue to run it throughout the duration, whether it's a 2-point conversion or not.
Are they? Because it's been stopped. I noticed that a little bit ago.
It's back on.
Okay.
Yeah, so
all right.
Yeah, we've had to go. There's a lot going on right now. We've got a lot of numbers that we're starting to learn names. Put numbers to names, clocks. There's a lot going on right now, but Southeast continues to roll.
3 wide receivers off to the left-hand side as they try to attempt this 2-point conversion once again. Brooks, he's going to step up, wants to run it himself, cuts it back, and he's going to score. Check the field, no flags. Burton Brooks gets the 2-point conversion in, and Southeast of Saline leads 68-0. We'll step away in a third quarter that's presented by Lily Pad Septic Service and Portable Restrooms.
At Maury Clinic Sports Medicine, we are available when you need us most. I'm Dr. Andrew Westbrook, and I am the sports medicine physician at Maury Clinic. I see patients of all ages and help them come back stronger than ever. From broken bones to joint pain, my team and I are committed to help you do more. For those with sports injuries, come see us at our sports medicine walk-in clinic Monday and Thursday mornings from 8 to 9 a.m. Prevent, recover, and strengthen so you can perform your best. Maury Clinic Sports Medicine. Make your move with confidence.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Welcome back here to Steve Fritz Field. It is week number 9, Southeast of Saline with a 68-0 lead on Southwestern Heights. Lily Pad Septic Service and Portable Restrooms helping bring you this third quarter of playoff football. And congratulations to the Leister family, Cole and Callie. They have a new addition. They have a child now that they get to be responsible for. That happened just late last week, over the weekend, and boy, what a blessing that is. So congratulations, another Leister on the way. Probably going to be wearing Southeast of Saline purple, I'm guessing.
Perfect.
So congratulations to Cole and Callie. Vaughn Hopkins, the third kicker of the night for Southeast of Saline, ready to put the ball in the air, and he's going to angle it off to the right-hand side, received at the 15-yard line. Here comes Southwestern Heights out with a good return of 15 yards out to the 30. On the return that time, Jackson Stanfield for Southwestern Heights as the Mustangs come out to take over once again.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what Southwestern Heights does. Obviously, short clock. The clock's running the entire time. Do they continue to go with how they came out? When they started the game, they're trying to go wide. They understood they couldn't run the ball up the middle, so they're trying to throw to the perimeter, trying to, get that short passing game going. That wasn't successful, but let's see if they go back to more of their, traditional play style. Get the ball up the middle, rely on your athletes. They have athletes because now the defense has changed just a little bit with this second unit in.
First down and 10 from the 30-yard line for the Mustangs. Here's the snap back. They're going to give it to Stanfield. He will try to get to the line of scrimmage and got no gain on that play. If you're wondering about the next stage for the winner of this game, it will be the winner of an 8-9 matchup. Usually probably the best matchups, right? You got two teams that are very similar records, and that's kind of what we have. The winner of this game will get the winner of Cimarron and Russell. Cimarron this year at 4-4. They played a tough schedule, though. Russell at 6-2. Those two teams playing tomorrow at 7 o'clock, and they will get the winner of this game between Southeast of Saline and Southwestern Heights. There's some crazy games tomorrow, though. Phillipsburg and Minneapolis, they just played last Friday. Phillipsburg was all over the lines. They get to redo it again. Minneapolis has to go back to Phillipsburg. Here's a deep ball thrown down the right-hand side. It is up for grabs and looks like it may be caught across midfield at the 46-yard line. Manny Mendoza goes up and makes the catch at the 46-yard line as he climbs the ladder and brings it down for a 17-yard catch.
Yeah, great job from Mendoza right there. We talk about high point in the football. That football wasn't thrown out in front of him. He had to stop. He had a vertical route right there, just stops, goes up against the ball at the highest point. More impressive, brings it down with strong hands.
So to the 46-yard line of Southeast of Saline. Mercado wants to go left-hand side. Has another deep ball that's up for grabs, and this one looked like it was going to be caught and then broken up at the last minute with a hand stuck in there by Carson Berrigan.
Yeah, Berrigan, really good job right there because you saw Zimmer right there. He didn't see the ball snap, so it was about a second delay from him even getting off on his route, and Berrigan just stayed with him. Little KB we'll go with right there. Just understood that his job was the receiver, not the ball. Did a good job just backpedaling. Gets the correct hand, gets that right hand up, deflects the ball down. That's good defensive back play from little KB.
How about another game tomorrow that twists my brain a little bit? Ellsworth and Hillsboro have a rematch. Remember, Hillsboro hung 55 points on Ellsworth in their first meeting of the season. I don't know if that will happen again. Here's a backpedaling throw this time by Mercado, and he's going to throw it out. Looks like it's going to be caught for a gain of 2, maybe 3 yards. Looks like they're going to give 2 over there to the receiver on the play. I couldn't really see who that was that caught that ball. Was that Mendoza again?
Well,
or did they call it out of bounds?
Well, no, minimal gain regardless. But it shows you, you're talking about these matchups. It shows you the importance of having this 1 seed because there's a lot of tough matchups. And I know that Southeast had big wins against all the teams we're talking about. However, if you don't have that 1 seed, you're in a battle immediately. And this kind of, lets you exhale a little bit, having the 1 seed.
Nearly an interception. We are up against our third pick six of the game. Jay Stein out there knocking it down as he was able to get out there in that passing lane. Up top, above the coverage, Stein came underneath. Carson Berrigan was over the top.
Yeah, and again, it's in Mercado. He has time. He just continues to backpedal. He's gun shy, and I understand why he is. Because the entire first half, there was pressure. I think if Mercado just sets that back foot and puts the ball in the line, he's got a better chance. But he's just so used to there being so much pressure from the Southeast Saline interior 7. He doesn't have time. He's always backpedaling, makes it really easy pickings for the Southeast Saline defensive backfield.
4th down and 10 from the 46-yard line. Mercado with it. Wants to run it, has to shake off a Trojan right at the point of attack. Now he goes backwards a little bit, and he's going to be swarmed under for no gain on the play. And this will give the football back to Southeast of Saline on offense. Let's take a check of your Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Andale leads Chapman. This is the end of the first quarter. Remember, most games tonight started at 7. We were one of the few that started at 6. Andale over Chapman at the end of one, 32-0. Also, El Saline with a good start in their game over Washington County, 26-0. We always talk about the game El Saline had to play in the muck and mire and the 4 feet of mud last year, and they lost to Madison, and a lot of people feel like they probably shouldn't have lost that game. It's playing out to where El Saline will probably play Madison next week.
It's poetic.
It is.
Like, it's football. That's what makes it fun.
First down and 10 here for Southeast of Saline. Pitch out to Levon Hopkins. He gets away from a Mustang. Now angling over the right-hand side. Has double-digit carry again, and then finally taken out of bounds at the 42-yard line. It's a gain of 12 on the play for Levon Hopkins.
And, Devin, these young Trojan offensive linemen, they're just trying to find people to block. There's nobody there. They're getting past the defensive line. They're just looking for other people to block. They couldn't find people. Heck, if Levon houses that, there's going to be 10 other guys with him in the end zone.
End of the third quarter. We'll step away. That third quarter was brought to you by Lily Pad Septic Service and Portable Restrooms. Back with the fourth and final after this on KINA.
The Kansas City Chiefs earn championship rings, bold, brilliant, and one of a kind. Now you can have a ring that's just as unforgettable. At Vernon Jewelers in Salina, we create custom rings that tell your story. From stunning engagement rings to personalized designs, our craftsmanship makes every piece a winner. Celebrate life's biggest moments with a ring that's truly yours. Stop by Vernon Jewelers, downtown Salina since 1884. We're not old, we're just really good at what we do.
Hi, this is Geraldine Diedrich, RN. If you are planning on having surgery, it is an important decision, and finding qualified care for surgical needs is essential. At Salina Surgical Hospital, our board-certified surgeons and specialized team provide professional warmth in an intimate, home-like recovery care area. Talk to your doctor about scheduling your next procedure with us. Your surgical experience is our specialty. Salina Surgical Hospital is partially owned by a group of local, community-involved physicians.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Burton Brooks goes ahead to start the fourth quarter for Southeast of Saline. Gets 6 yards. That's his fourth carry of the night. Southeast of Saline leading here 68-0 over Southwestern Heights. Devin Haney, Tyler Smith back here at Southeast of Saline. This one will go to Christian Peterson. He sweeps it to the left-hand side, gets a yard on the play. Now 3 carries, 30 yards for him.
Yeah, and after that play, immediately 8 new Trojans going to the field. Just like when you're getting pounded, we have 8 new Trojans fresh coming at you.
There was some talk, and it wasn't any specific school. I just heard some people talking, and it was, freshmen not being active for the postseason. And I imagine this bigger schools might do that, and JV players and things like that. And here's a end-around carry, and it's going to be a big one for Southeast of Saline. As coming now to the 25-yard line, all the way through there on the end around was Leighton Nooch, the freshman, to the 25, as he's able to get a big carry.
Yeah, Nooch has a lot of spring to his step right there. I mean, he turns the corner. He looks like he's gonna take it right there. But good defense from Southwestern Heights to get him in the defensive backfield. But Nooch plants that outside foot and goes.
Double-digit carry there for Leighton Nooch to the 25-yard line. He'll be the man in motion again. They fake it to him. Brooks up the middle, has a Southeast of Saline first down, flirts with the red zone, then is turned away at about the 21-yard line after a gain of 4. Anyway, to finish that thought, I asked Mitch Gebhardt just kind of off the air in conversation. I said, how do you feel about that? And he said, well, at Southeast with the numbers that we have, he said, I want those guys on the sideline, and I'm paraphrasing here. He said, because they might play. He said, special teams, late in the game, who knows what's going to happen in any of these games. And he said also, it's one of those cases, too, where if they're not out here in a playoff atmosphere, when it's their turn next year, how do they know how to feel?
Yeah, without a doubt. And again, that's that compound, as we see Hopkins, tackled right there, taking the ball up, but it's a compound interest. These guys are invested. They put all their chips in, and that just builds and builds and builds, and you see it grow. And we've seen the success that Southeast has had because of having your freshmen here and getting valuable time. I mean, this isn't against a fluke team. I mean, they're now playing against a varsity Southwestern Heights team in the second half, and they hold their own every single week.
3rd down and 6 from the 21-yard line. Christian Peterson will come on here, and he will set up camp directly behind the quarterback. Brooks is the quarterback. He's leaning out to the right-hand side, looking down the field. Can't find a receiver down there. It's incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So that play is a perfect example of why you have freshmen out here. Burton Brooks had a wide-open receiver in the flats, and as you're looking at this film, that's a ball that Coach Gebhardt will say that you got to throw it there. You got to throw it to that running back coming out on the flats. Don't look for the deep ball. You have this flood concept where you're taking care of all three areas. You have shallow, you have middle, and you have deep. Get it to that shallow guy. Flats are open. Get it there and let him work.
From the 21, 4th down and 6 for Southeast of Saline. Burton Brooks trying to pick it up here and keep this drive alive. Moving players. Now Nooch goes in motion. They fake it to him. Brooks on the run will get to the 15-yard line. He is going to be very, very close to the first down. And they're going to say move the chains. He got enough. Needed 6. He got 6.25.
We're going to pull out Hawkeye.
Yes. Boy, how awkward was that?
That was super beneficial if you're a Chiefs fan, but very weird.
It's supposed to be beneficial all the way around, but the amount of time it took, you're still relying on the referee's spot. I was watching the referee who was seemingly like taking the Tim Tebow kneel and just holding the ball, and he's frozen there. And it's like, can we not get some Jeopardy music or something to go along with this? It was just like, First down here for Southeast of Saline at the 15-yard line. Little read option play again. Brooks will have it. He tiptoes his way inside the 10, falls ahead to the 8-yard line. 7 yards on that play for Burton Brooks, who already now has 7 carries, 38 yards.
And again, anytime you have a freshman quarterback back there that's not afraid to go up the middle, it's huge. I mean, we've talked about a lot of talented freshmen that we've seen play the quarterback position just this season. We talk about, Beloit has one, but it's running in between the tackles that I think is a difficult thing for these young quarterbacks to do because they're not used to it. They're not used to going in the middle. They're usually the best athletes on the field. But you're seeing Brooks, he's not scared to go between the tackles.
Levon Hopkins, he takes the handoff. He's going to go to the right-hand side. Levon Hopkins still moving, and he's down to the 2. Hopkins all the way down to the 2 on a gain of 6. Knocking on the door again for his second touchdown of the night.
Well, and you talk about a guy that's not afraid to run in the tackles. He wants to run in between the tackles. He wants to deliver blows. Not great blocking right there from the Southeast, front 5, but it doesn't matter for Levon Hopkins. He's going to deliver blows. He's going to make sure the first couple guys that make contact with him pay for it, and he's going to make sure it's a lot of Southwestern Heights defenders that bring him down.
First down and goal for the Trojans from the 2-yard line. Hopkins behind Brooks in the pistol formation. They're going to give it to Levon. He goes left, and he's going to score. Second touchdown of the night for Levon Hopkins. This one comes from 2 yards away.
Yeah, and again, right there, that was a good initial search from the offensive line as opposed to the play before. Anytime you give Hopkins any room, he's going to take it, and he's always going to fall forward. He's a fall forward running back as opposed to a fall backwards running back. When you fall forward in the goal line, that's what makes him extremely valuable.
2-yard run by Levon Hopkins. So I said his second of the night, third of the season. He has 9 carries, 64 yards here in this game. Brooks wants to roll out to the right. He's going to fire into the end zone. It's going to be intercepted by Southwestern Heights, and Southeast of Saline will be turned away. Running clock, 5:39 left to go. Southeast of Saline up 74-0 as we step away and take this 30-second timeout on KINA.
Whether on the field, court, or in the operating room, experience matters. A coach loves an experienced team just like a patient values an experienced doctor. Salina Ortho has ABOS board-certified physicians with over 40 years of orthopedic service. If you need help staying active or just want to discuss options regarding the newest techniques and services and specialties that Salina Ortho provides, see one of our trusted physicians or visit SalinaOrtho.com. Salina Ortho, your voice, your choice, past, present, and future.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
Brian Dennett providing that live stream video tonight of this contest. You can watch it live or anytime on demand. Make sure when you go to the Salina Post YouTube page, you subscribe and also get notifications. That way you don't miss any of our postseason coverage. Also helps us out as well. You can help us out for free as we try to keep the train rolling and cover all the local area high school sports. Get the notifications. That way you don't miss anything that we cover throughout this school year. Here's a kickoff for Southeast of Saline, angling over to the left-hand side. It will be taken here by Southwestern Heights, and a return back to the 30, now the 35. Nifty return here for the Mustangs, still breaking tackles, working his way towards midfield is Xavier Del Torre, and he's finally brought down at about the 45-yard line. What a nifty return that was by Xavier Del Torre. Just a freshman. He's an impressive player for Southwestern Heights.
Yeah, and the Southwestern Heights team, we talk about him just being a freshman, but for a lot of these guys, it's the last time they're going to be on a football field. And it stinks to Thursday night on a Friday night, but I think sometimes we forget about when we're watching these games, when we look at the score, how much this means and how much these families and these players, put into this. I mean, it's always a special moment.
Well said, Tyler. First down and 10 here for the Mustangs. They angle off to the left-hand side, and that is a textbook takedown over there on the side by Jace Stein. What a tackle that was by the youngster for Southeast. No gain on the play.
No, you're exactly right. And we talk about textbook. It's inside hip. It's drive through, and Stein did all of that.
Brings up second down and 10 for the Mustangs. 3:10 left to go in this game. Keep it right here in postgame. We'll have comments from Mitch Gebhardt. Also final stats of the game. Here's a ball down the left-hand side, up for grabs. It's going to be caught. The receiver comes back to the football, and Southeast able to tackle him inside the 15-yard line down to the 13 on the play. That was a ball that was up for grabs, and it's Dresden Zimmerman.
Devin, this is why the vertical concept is so good at any level of football, especially the high school level. That Zimmerman had Southeast's defender beat. Ball was underthrown, but Zimmerman knew his route. Southeast did not know his route. He comes back to the football, makes a good catch, and it's the yards after the catch that really got Southwestern Heights in a good position in the red zone.
Longest play of the night. It's 41 yards for Southwestern Heights. Here's the sweep by Mercado out to the left. He's going to get about 4 yards. As Omar Mercado gets 4. Getting that last big pass play by the Mustangs was 41 yards.
And again, you're looking at the score, and I'll tell you what, going back to the Southwestern Heights, the way they're coached, they're fighting so hard for this touchdown. It means so much to them to get in the end zone against the Southeast Saline defense. And you're not – one thing we talk about, body language. I mean, this is a team that's down 74-0. I haven't seen any negative body language, especially now that I'm on the field. I mean, these guys continue to fight. They're continuing to do the correct things.
Second down from the 11. Mercado rolling out right, directing traffic. Wants to go back of the end zone, and it's going to be bobbled and dropped. Incomplete. Southwestern Heights nearly had one there. We talked about their competition earlier, Tyler. Let me give you some of the teams. I call it the Triple H here. They played Hugoton, Hoisington, and Holcomb in the regular season. Holcomb undefeated in Class 3A. They're 8-0. Hoisington 7-0. Hugoton 7-1. If you put Southeast of Saline coming into the night at 8-0, that's 4 teams that Southwestern Heights has played this year with a combined record of 30-1. Here's a pass to the end zone. That's going to be broke up, but it's also going to draw a flag. Coming over the top, knocking that one down out of play was Hendricks Lund, and the backside official is going to throw a flag on the play.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm right here. I saw the whole play happen. Great defensive position from Lund, but it was that hand. That's a great call from that official, and I love that officials are still officiating this game like it's 0-0. I mean, that is the correct call, as they're going to stop the clock for this penalty as a timeout's going to be called. And again, this goes back to just good coaching. He knows how, they understand how important just getting to the end zone is. Let's go away happy.
Absolutely. Southeast of Saline's Booster Club brings you live coverage to showcase exceptional student activities and build that purple power. It is always a great day to be a Trojan. Also, it's a big 3-day weekend. It's the conclusion of the Zombie Expedition coming up at Elite Sports Paintball. Again, this weekend, zombies are invading Elite Sports Paintball, and it's a big 3-day weekend. You can go out there Friday, Saturday, and even Sunday, as we have Halloween, of course, tomorrow if you have trick-or-treating or whatever with the kids. Jake and the family, they're going to be open Saturday and Sunday for you as well over the weekend. It's a big 3-day weekend to wrap up the Zombie Expedition at Elite Sports Paintball just down the road. For more and to get your tickets before time without standing in line, go to zombieexpedition.com.
Devin, I'll tell you what, right now, with that Zombie Expedition, my kids are still talking about it. They went 2 weeks ago. They shot off, I think, 1,000 paintballs each. Loved it. They will not stop talking about it. They now want paintball guns.
It is definitely for the entire family type of activity. It's awesome.
Here's Southwestern Heights now scrambling around. Mercado looking for somewhere to go. Directing traffic. He's going to throw it up back of the end zone. It's going to be knocked out and intercepted. Southeast of Saline makes their statement with Jackson Tanner putting it away off the deflection that time. I didn't see who deflected it, Tyler. Was that Leighton Nooch again, number 80?
Devin, I'm going to be honest with you. As soon as that ball went up, I just heard the sidelines roaring. I mean, this shutout is so big to these guys on the sidelines and to the whole team. I just stopped watching.
That was awesome. Southeast of Saline in all levels. They pitch a shutout, and they win 74-0 over Southwestern Heights. When we come back, we'll have comments from the head coach. We'll also have stats for you. And a Vernon Jewelers Gym of the Game. It's all coming up after a big Trojan victory. They will march on to the field of 16. We'll talk about it when we come back. The Commercial Tire Center's postgame report starts next after a Trojan win here on KINA.
Sage is your go-to source for industrial strength cleaning products, ice melt, floor equipment, paper, asphalt, and just about everything in between. Whether you're a maintenance supervisor, a small business, or just wanting your home to look amazing, stop by 732 North 9th Street in Salina, where we will be happy to assist you. You can also visit us at sageselects.com or call us at 309-1919. Sage Products, the right call every time.
The Trojans are experts in precision passes, and Everhart Precision Ag are your experts in grid soil sampling. Everhart Precision Ag does all the sampling and data analysis in-house, keeping it local and close to the farm. They're also your local channel seedsman, selling all seeds with an emphasis in corn and soybeans. Trust Matt Everhart and Lane Hensley at Everhart Precision Ag, serving Saline, Dickinson, McPherson, and Ottawa counties, and also supporting Southeast of Saline Trojans. For more information, visit everhartprecision.com.
Southeast wins! Southeast of Saline wins!
Trojan fans, it's not too late to get your 2024 state championship merch or to get custom gear to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the 2005 state championship team at Copyco. In addition to great SES gear that you can wear all year round, Copyco also offers custom printing so you can support any student athlete in any activity from football and basketball to choir and band. See them at 2346 Planet Avenue in Salina.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the Heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
Fall is the absolute best time for the experts at Commercial Tire Centers to look over your vehicle. Summer was tough on your tires, and winter's coming on strong. You don't want to be left stranded with tires that aren't performing. Car, truck, SUV, trailers, farm, and big rigs. Commercial Tire will help you keep safe and productive. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9th in Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
Time for the Trojan Postgame Show on KINA Sports. Stick around for the game recap, final stats, and reaction from the coach. This is Trojan Football on KINA.
Back here on the postgame report, brought to you by Commercial Tire Center after a big 74-0 victory. Southeast of Saline tonight. That second quarter was still extremely impressive tonight for Southeast of Saline. They were able to put up 46 points in the second quarter alone after leading 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. Southeast of Saline now will go to the field of 16 as they advance to the second round. They will be awaiting the winner of the game tomorrow between Russell and Cimarron. The winner of that game will have a game here next Friday night, we assume. Of course, things can change, and we'll keep you up to date on all that. The record now 9-0 on the season, 22-game winning streak, tied with Andale for the longest in the season. Let's go down to Tyler. Here's Coach.
Coach, congratulations on the win. 1-0 again against a Southwestern Heights team that had, some athletes, just not enough depth. Let's talk about that second half, seeing those younger guys come out and do things. Anytime you blank a team at any point, 74-0 win. Just talk about that young defense that we saw in that second half.
Yeah, I thought our defense did a great job all the way around. Very happy for
to be able to get everybody in. Everybody gets to play in a playoff game, and that's a pretty cool deal. And then to get backs against the wall down there and come up with a play at the end, actually two plays at the end to keep them out of the end zone. Those kids are learning what we want to do.
Okay, they pay me to ask you the hard-hitting questions. So after a 74-0 win, the opening round, not a lot of hard-hitting questions. What's Coach Gebhardt's favorite Halloween candy?
Oh, man. I like a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. Pretty good.
All right,
just
there you go.
Plain old Reese's, but I don't want any of that funny stuff in there. I just want plain old Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
So Reese's Peanut Butter Cup for Coach Gebhardt. Coach Gebhardt, congratulations. 1-0 yet again. Best of luck to you guys next week.
Yeah, it's almost like there isn't anything to talk about because there's so much to talk about in this one as Southeast of Saline gets the victory 74-0. When you look at our precision pass of the game, that 13-yarder, I like that one between Tiernan Potachik and Amarion Holub. That came back in the first half when Southeast of Saline led it 8-0. That made it 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. Amarion again with a big night tonight. Had a touchdown in the air, 2 receptions, 23 yards. Grady Gebhardt had a big night as well. 2 rushing touchdowns, 37-yard touchdown reception. Southeast of Saline plays 2 quarterbacks tonight with Tiernan Potachik completing his last 5 passes. He went 5 of 7 in this game for 77 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Burton Brooks also came in, played quarterback as well. An assortment of runners tonight in this game for Southeast of Saline, and Southeast gets 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns on defense. They also get another interception there at the end of the game to walk it off. That was their 3rd interception of the night. They also had a fumble recovery tonight as well for 4 takeaways in this game, and to put the cherry on top of a 74-0 victory over Southwestern Heights. Now Southeast of Saline will turn their attention to a game next week, we assume on Friday night until we're told different, and that will be between Cimarron and also the Russell Broncos, who will tangle tomorrow night. 9-0 on the season now for Southeast of Saline. So we look at our Vernon Jewelers gym of the game. The holidays are right around the corner, and Vernon Jewelers has some big things cooking up for you, not only on variety and assortment, but also just in discounts. You want to save some money this holiday season? Shop early and shop in downtown Salina at Vernon Jewelers. They will get you taken care of, and as always, if you have a piece that needs a repair or you want a custom piece, something extra special for somebody, Vernon Jewelers does that as well, as they are able to hook you up for something that is really special this holiday season. If you get in trouble like Tyler and I do, it's always a good idea to have some jewelry in the wrapping paper as well. Boy, what a dominant victory tonight, Tyler, for this Southeast of Saline team. I think when you go in and not only the number 1 seed, as you said, that's nice because you get a little bit favorable draw. You get to play at home, but also when you're the defending champion, it doesn't matter who you play in the opening round. You want to come out and you kind of want to raise your hand a little bit. And there's been some chatter about, well, they're hurt, they're bleeding. It's the old Rocky IV thing, right? The Russian's cut, he's hurt, he's bleeding. And that's what people have said about Southeast across the state this year. They said, they're in jeopardy of not repeating because they've had some injuries. And I think Southeast tonight said, wait a second, there's still some work to do here, and we're up for it.
Well, and I think it's the Southeast defense. Again, when we don't talk about them, it means we're talking about them.
Yep.
We always bring them up. They're just – the unit is so difficult to play against. Like, I don't know where the weakness is with the Southeast defense. And that's going to be the tough thing. Like, we talk about, the trenches. Their defensive line is unbelievable. You talk about their linebacking core. I mean, they want to deliver pops. They're so good, on the perimeter as well. And then you go to the defensive backfield. You had 2 pick sixes tonight. Like, they're as talented as any unit that we've seen as well. So it's all 3 levels there. But I think it goes back to your point that you talked about earlier in the game. It was 3 phases tonight. We saw the special teams be successful. We saw the offense do what they needed to, and then the defense was just suffocating. And you need all 3 levels. And it's now postseason football. Again, no style points. You don't get – it's all about what the scoreboard looks, regardless of what, wins and losses. It was pretty stylish tonight. I mean, they kind of showed they can do it in all 3 phases.
So let's have the conversation now that we haven't had yet tonight, and that is being ready, being fresh, being ready for that next game. Southeast tonight, we're worried about this during the regular season, right? We're watching starters get pulled in the middle of the second quarter and going, gosh, how's that going to help us in the playoffs? Well, now's the time where it helps you. If you're able to do that in a playoff game and be ready and be fresh when your guys are not only not exerting energy, but also not out there with the risk of getting injured, is key. But also now you played on Thursday night. You have an extra day to prepare. Whether your game is on Friday or Thursday next week, you have that extra day in there where Coach Gebhardt told me off air. They're going to watch some film. They're going to take it easy. They practice this week on Sunday. He was ready for this type of schedule, and now you have an extra day in there to get ready for Cimarron or for the Russell Broncos.
Yeah, like install is in. So like for those of listening on it, like all the playbook is there. It's complete. This team, they know the playbook. They've been running it. So we talk about how they extend their season by 4 or 5 weeks every single year, which gives you, a head start on every other team you're playing. Now it's all about physical health. And anytime that you can pull starters out and limit their snaps and make sure they're not taking that beating, not taking that little twisted ankle here that, you just roll up on something a little bit difficult, you keep people healthy, and that's the valuable thing. And when you can rely on a huge roster that Southeast has developed because of their culture and the way they get everybody, into the program and do things and still shut teams out, that's how you keep people healthy, and that's how you continue to grow and just see how this thing blossoms.
It's the 6th consecutive season Southeast of Saline has started out 9-0. They will take a 22-game winning streak into the round of 16. Next week, again, the winner of Russell and Cimarron tomorrow will be the candidate that will get to tangle with the Trojans a week from tonight or from tomorrow. We'll see how that plays. I imagine, just kind of guessing, if it's Russell, it'll be a Friday night 7 o'clock game. If it's Cimarron, that could change things a little bit. That's quite the road trip, so we'll kind of see how that works out. It may be an early game next Friday. It may be a Thursday game. We'll see how that plays out. Of course, we'll have all that information for you on Salina Post. We do have a game coming your way tomorrow on Salina Post with live stream video. Sacred Heart will host Marion tomorrow. That should be a good one between the Knights and the Warriors, as that will be the game tomorrow on Salina Post Sports. Also, Tyler Henry will be here on KINA. Since we don't have football, it works out nicely. Kansas Wesleyan starting crossover season. They will have Coyote basketball tomorrow. Tyler Henry with the call on that. Then we fast forward to Saturday. Tyler Henry will have call on football at 1 o'clock. Kansas Wesleyan going to tangle with Friends University, and that will be at the baseball stadium where the Wind Surge play in Wichita. We'll come right after the Kansas Wesleyan football game on Saturday, and then we will have a doubleheader of Kansas Wesleyan basketball with girls and boys. We'll have that for you Saturday evening. And then, of course, on Sunday, 2 o'clock pregame, Chiefs go to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. So a full weekend of activities, and it started today with a Southeast of Saline victory, 74-0 over Southwestern Heights, 9-0 on the season, and moving on to the next. For Brian Dennett with that live stream video tonight, it was all presented by Everhart Precision Ag. Also, Chris Cadle producing and engineering. We want to remind you, get out and vote on Tuesday. We will not talk before Tuesday. Get out and vote, no matter what level, where you live at. I understand Southeast of Saline has 3 Board of Education positions that are up for grabs. You want to make sure you get out and vote for who you feel is the most qualified candidate, no matter what you're doing. That's coming up Election Day on Tuesday. Southeast of Saline wins it tonight over Southwestern Heights, 74-0. Enjoy your weekend. We will talk to you next week.